Hey now!
Hello and welcome to the Bourbon Blend. I'm Courtney, and this sidekick is
Jay. I'm Jay.
And we're glad that you've joined us tonight, even though it's a basketball evening.
Basketball action!
That's right.
Of course, it's not involving the Auburn Tigers, so I don't really care that much.
Not till tomorrow night.
Am I pushing you to the side here?
No. You and
the last we checked.
Where are you going?
Well, I was too close. Too hot.
Oh
the last we checked, Alabama was leading BYU, and Florida
Barely.
Florida and Maryland were close.
They were neck and neck.
Now, Courtney, you said you wanted to check in on Florida because I don't know. Guess you're into them.
No, I'm not into Florida, but I do have them in my Final Four.
In the chat, we've got a few legends already. I know it's usually a late arriving crowd for the Bourbon Blend. I know that Mike said he was awaiting. This is pretty funny. Waiting your presence with a 2-fingered glass of Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, which is an outstanding choice. I mentioned that I usually check with just one finger. And then Mike said, my significant others usually ask for 2.
Oh, ouch.
So his significant others like bourbon, and
I do too. Yes, I like bourbon.
Raven wants to know, how's it hanging? JG does not ask you how it's hanging.
Nope. Don't want to know that.
But it is hanging. You know what we used to say in like 8th grade when people would ask me that? Long and hairy and hard to carry.
That's definitely.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, it played.
I'm sure it played really well.
Mike, thank you for asking. He says, what is that sweater, JGT? This is a sweater for the Seattle Kraken. Kraken?
They're the Kraken.
And the reason I'm wearing it is because I was supercharging my car yesterday. There was a Ross Dress for Less nearby. So I went into the Ross Dress for Less. I was looking for a very light jacket I could wear when it's like 65, 70 degrees outside.
Are you kidding me? You're looking for a jacket?
Like a light one.
Our entire closet is full of jackets for
full
you.
of hoodies. And in the process of looking for that, I found this for $25. And it's like real. I mean, it's like for real.
It's the real deal.
It's even got a strap in the back where you're supposed to hook it to your britches.
You're supposed to hook what to your britches?
This jersey.
Oh, okay.
Like to your hockey britches.
Okay. All
right. I have never, that I know of, watched the Kraken play, but I like their jersey. And for $25.
Pretty cool.
I'm good with that. So let's get it done.
Yeah.
Today, let's talk about what we're going to be discussing on the show.
Yes.
We've got much
old soul.
The Cathead Distillery in Jackson, Mississippi is the distiller for Old Soul. Some folks that we know. Major is an absolute legend over there, and some other folks. We've been over there a couple times. I've been a couple times. I think maybe you've only been once.
I've been there, yeah.
And we like their bourbons quite a bit. And sometimes I think folks in, not Mississippi so much, but maybe in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, see this on the shelf and they don't know what the hell it is. They're like, what's
True.
Mississippi bourbon? Seriously? But I'm here to tell you, I don't necessarily like their bottom of the barrel stuff, but if you get the hotter stuff, which is all this here, it's pretty fucking good, man.
Pretty good.
So we're going to be drinking some stuff. I think we've only opened one of these bottles, maybe 2. Is that? Oh, you opened them here.
I did open them.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that way I didn't have any technical issues.
I was like, the tintype was brand new this morning.
I know. Maybe I took a little hit.
So we're going to go ahead and hit that. And Matt says, you were in the East Chase Target parking lot. That's probably my favorite parking lot. And I know parking lots.
That's exciting.
He's absolutely correct. I was in the East Chase parking lot. I did not need anything at Target, so I went across to a Ross Dress for Less.
Did you find a jacket?
I did not, but I found this Kraken jersey for $25.
Well, I'm not devastated. You didn't find a jacket.
Raven says it's called a fight strap.
A fight strap.
That's the
is that for
here.
them to
see right here?
Pull you around? Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's so they can't pull it over on you. Norman says, now my lady keeps saying Ross Dress for Less.
Yes.
That's what it's called, I think.
Yes.
I was reminded when I walked in of about a very scary moment we had when we were younger, when Maddie got away from us and Ross, and we couldn't find her.
Yes, and she was hiding like in the clothes racks, and it scared the crap out of both of us.
We had a plan. You were like, go to the door and don't let anybody out.
Yeah.
And I went to the door and you were like, Maddie. And
I kept calling her, and then she didn't. All of a sudden, she poked her little head out, and I went, ha! And I was like, I'm so glad to see you, but I want to kill you at the same time.
All right, so we're going to drink Cathead. We're going to drink some Old Soul tonight. We got 3 Old Souls plus a tintype series.
Yes.
which I gave a bottle of that to one of my basketball coach friends, and he said couldn't even drink it. Like he said it was too hot. So we'll see if Courtney can drink that. We've also got pictures. We have some good ones, some funny ones from this week. We got some bourbon news, and we've also got Courtney's Cornir, spelled with an I.
Yes, very important.
And I got to admit, I wasn't super enthused about your Courtney's Corner this week. I thought it was...
Well, I bet that we will have some good interactions on this, Jay, so...
We'll see.
Just have to be quiet
Mike wants to know, Courtney, do you always wear black to the show?
Usually I do.
Why is that, Courtney? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I started doing it and just continued with it.
Okay.
I don't really have a good answer, but yes, I typically wear black or gray or something that's not loud. I think it's because of the background. I don't want it to be like pink or anywhere. Weird colors.
Eric wants to know if we have any sandwich picks this week.
No sandwich picks this week.
I think we do somewhere.
Oh, you have a sandwich pick?
I still have it in our photos. I wasn't going to throw it away,
Okay.
but I don't see it right in front of me. So
Okay.
I think we're probably going to show that before it's over, Eric. Okay, Raven says, exactly talking about the fight strap. I have an AU hockey jersey. You have to make sure the fight strap is always leashed to keep it from being stolen off my back.
Exactly.
I was going to say, I didn't know if
Yes.
Ms. Raven was that enthusiastic about pulling it over your head and getting it off. She could probably just ask.
Yeah, and I'm sure he would be amenable to that.
And she was
To
ravaging Raven.
That's right.
That could be like a movie.
That sounds like that would not be
Coming to a theater this summer.
You could not view that in Alabama, though.
Oh no, that would definitely be blocked on Pornhub.
Right.
Oh. All right, so we're gonna start off. I guess Courtney's grabbed the. You got to turn around for me to know which one it is. No, turn around. This is the 2023 version because they look the same to me.
Yes, that's the ABC store pick.
All right, here we go. This is the ABC Old Soul. Now this is cask strength. It's going to be 120.3 proof. My sources within the Cathead community suggest this is actually 6 years old, but it's not stated on the bottle how old it is. I will say I have told you guys many times, Eric G in particular, if you find a Blue Label Old Soul and you don't have one at home, strongly suggest you get it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, young lady. 120 is a hot one for our first pour. You can see from the picture on the left there, we've done a lot of damage on this bitch.
It's good
through the years. But this is a very good one. I believe this one was, I think they put this one up in 16. They get it from MGP, from Indiana, and then they bring it down to Mississippi. And they age it there in their warehouse in downtown Jackson. And so there's some thought that, those Mississippi summers aren't no joke.
That's true. They hotter than a cat on a hot tin roof. I don't know what.
Hotter than a snake in your mother's vag.
Oh, that would be.
Well, at this point,
it'd be pretty cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little dry.
Maybe Mia Khalifa's badge.
Who?
She's a porn star.
Oh.
I think I've seen that one smoke before. That may have been just metaphorical, though. Mike says, Courtney, it does go well with your coloration, but light colors of green and blue would work well.
Okay. Thank you.
Mike's opinion.
Thanks, Mike.
Green and blue.
I do wear green and blue.
Yeah,
I wore blue today.
She wears blue fairly often. Yeah, you also wear green that goes with your hazel green eyes.
I don't have hazel green eyes. I have blue.
Hey, do you still have the list of all of our charcoal briquette shit?
Somewhere.
Oh, great. You've done a great job keeping up with that.
Yes, it's on. I think it's over there. It's over there. You moved it. I didn't move it.
You think I would move stuff around?
You moved that. I did not
Come
move
on
that.
Now.
You moved that.
Okay.
See? Jay moved it. And then he wrote with his terrible handwriting on here compared to my nice handwriting. Like, I have very nice handwriting at the top, and then you have Jay's chicken scratch here.
Hey, I wouldn't used to be a sorority girl, so.
What's that have to do with anything?
Because sorority girls always have nice handwriting.
And then what's all this? It's just a mess.
Whatever. By the way, last time we were out, which was 2 weeks ago, we did Angel's Envy. We had the regular. I gave it 2.5. Courtney gave it 3. Their single barrel, I gave it 3.5. Courtney gave it 3.3.
3.
Ravin wants to know about mouthfeel, Courtney.
I think it's delicious. It is. It's not hot. you already get some kind of. Did you say this was single barrel?
This is cask strength.
Okay.
I don't think it's single barrel.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Chip says chat penetrated. This has got, for whatever reason, I'm getting I'm tasting rye on it. It's got that.
I could see that spiciness of some rye in it.
This is the MGP high rye juice, but it's really not that high rye. It says on the bottle what it is.
I guess since it's 120 proof, it's good for 120 proof. Like it's not hot. I feel satisfied with the mild burn, like the burn that it's just saying that, hello, I'm here. It's not burning like a bad UTI.
Chip, you know what I'm about to say, don't you? Chip knows what I'm about to say. I know you're not satisfied, but are you good? God, I wish I still had that on tape. Because he said it right into my recorder. Fuck.
Recorder. It's been a minute, huh?
Mm-hmm. Raven saying good evening to everyone. We got 7,000 people in the chat
I
tonight.
know. It's hard to keep up with everybody.
And it's our great Dirty Dozen. I guess it's half the Dirty Dozen. Yeah, started this off tonight. It's always a late arriving crowd for the blend. And we also missed last week.
We missed last week, and there's basketball
game. So
there's basketball. No, last week was birthday.
Oh, wait, yeah, the game was early, right? And then we went to Johnny's birthday. Okay. Okay, so this to me, pretty good. It doesn't actually. I'm not hard on it. The price is 85-ish, which is high. I'm very interested to taste the next one. Yeah. I'm curious to see if that's going to taste any different. I would give this 2.75. Is what I'm going to do on this one.
I give it a 3.
And Courtney's going to go 3.
Yeah, I think it's good. And it takes a lot for me to say something's good, and it's not from Kentucky, so I like it.
Yeah, I have no complaints at all. I'm just saying at $85, it's probably a little bit
that's
high.
true. If you take your price point into it, it's a little high. But it's 120 proof, and it doesn't feel like you are on fire.
I would agree with that. By the way, Chipper, this is a Seattle Kraken sweater, as the kids say. Kraken. And I found this at Ross Dress for Less yesterday for $25.
So proud of Jay.
That's just what I call value shopping, honestly. So I'm pretty
Is that what you call it?
I'm pretty proud of that one. The list price on this is $180. So eat your heart out, Seattle Kraken fan.
Yeah.
Kraken.
It's probably the only one they sold in the state of Alabama.
Maybe you're the only one they sold in the state of Alabama.
I'm expensive, though.
Which one are we going to? Are we going to the 22? All right, we're moving over to the 22. So this is going to be the ABC store pick from the 22 year. And we figured it was going to be similar.
This from the bottle shop.
I don't understand this. Why are these scores here like that? We thought it might be the same stuff, but it's not because it has different proof on it.
Yep.
And it's obviously from a different barrel. So it's going to be a whole new thing.
But this is from the bottle shop in Georgia.
Oh, the other one's ABC. Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Matt noticed that this is the Kraken jersey. Mike thinks that our crowd may be depressed due to people watching the Alabama game. I didn't know we had that many undercover Bammers. And Chipper says there's still about 2 inches. That's not 2 fingers, Mike. That's 2 inches of an Old Soul bottle in the OBA liquor cabinet. Just took stock last
Is that
Saturday.
something we brought down there?
I hope so. Shit. Every party cabinet in this part of the country ought to have some Old Soul in it. That's just my opinion. They don't pay me. I haven't for a long time.
No, that's
they're not supposed to. I mean, I'm not trying to say they were behind or anything. Raven says, once we get 4 bourbons deep and talking about cooking exotic breeds, the rest of the dozens will show
or an amazing chat about cereals or something.
Let's pour this
like
bitch right here. So we're going to go, this is with the 22 version. Oh.
It's not going to pop. I mean, it's not going to break.
Oh, fart.
It wasn't a big pop, though.
This is going to be a little bit lower proof. The last one was like 120. This is going to be 115. Same price, same age, just different season, I guess. And we'll see. I'm expecting this to be kind of rye-ish. And it's not a rye, but it has a lot of rye on it, in my opinion. Oh, I smell success.
You smell money?
I smell the first time she pops her bra and you see those titties for the very first moment.
Jay.
What?
Not appropriate. It's too early for that.
It happened. It happened with you one time in 1992.
You mean when we got married? You know, the night we got married?
No, we got married in 97, Courtney. So do you think the world thinks I didn't see your titties before we got married?
Quiet time.
All right, fine. Let's see what we got. Interesting. It does not taste the same. Not at all. That rye thing is gone. It's got something else on the back end, though. I'm not sure I love it. What is it?
Oh, no. It tastes weird.
It's almost like minty or something.
Oh, no. It got me wrong there, though.
Yeah. That one didn't hit me right.
Oh. Oh. Don't search this one out. Wow.
I don't like that one, man.
Almost tastes like a little bit of like a mouthwash.
That Old Soul, the 22, I don't have enough room to put on here, but that's the bottle shop in Columbus, Georgia's pick. We have had amazing luck with bottle shop picks. This is the first one that's kind of ass. I don't like this one.
I don't like this.
God, this reminds me of that. I taste a little bit of vitamins, yo. Is that even possible?
I don't know.
Like that bullshit we got from Tennessee, remember?
No, it's not that bad.
No. I don't even see it here. The bad one. Where's that bad one?
I don't know.
Did you just pour that sumbitch out?
Possibly.
You probably did the right thing if you did that. This doesn't get me excited at all. This one's just not working for me. Now the 23 was good.
The nose smells like...
It smells like floral to me.
I don't get that.
Floral. Let me write this down. 23, JG gave this a 2.7.
It's a 22.
I know.
Oh, okay.
On the 23, and you gave it 3.
I like it.
This one I'm giving a 2. This is not great, guys. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take another sip, but...
Well, guess what? There's another one left for you to drink. I mean, the good news is that it has good heat on it. Start, middle, end heat is good. And it doesn't burn for a while or anything like that. It'll probably get you fucked up at 115 proof pretty quick.
Yeah,
maybe 3 pours and you're good. But I just don't like it. It's got a floral thing to it. It's almost minty or something on the end. You say mouthwash, and I don't disagree.
I mean, it's just not.
All right, you just want to pour that bitch out?
I mean, I don't think I've ever done that on the bourbon
let's
blend.
do it. We'll do it.
No, we don't have to pour it out. I can suffer through it.
Here, just look pretty. And
I can suffer through it. It just is not pleasant. I mean, I'm going to go with like a 1 on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, I just don't like it.
Okay.
There goes that Old Soul sponsorship, Jay.
No, Cathead, no. I mean, every single one can't be perfect. You're going to give it a 1?
Yes.
All right.
Like, I was having a hard time swallowing it. Having a hard time. I put it in my mouth. I was having a hard time swallowing it. So do with that what you like.
Guys, that's exceedingly unusual for her to have that specific problem.
We got some more comments here, Jay.
Because you're not a quitter. Oh, look here. We do have some. Chip says that's an unfavorable reaction. He is damn right about that. Ravin says, I feel like this one took a dramatic turn. Chip says, JGT notes, F that ish. That's about right. Chip says, Everclear has good heat on it. That is absolutely true. Our friend Brigida is here. She says she made it, and we love having Brigida on the show. And I think we have a sound effect for her somewhere on here. We'll just give her some applause.
Yay!
We love having Bridgie on the show, and glad to have you here. Let's see. Mike says, is there ever a reason to pour out a bourbon? I mean, can it ever be put to some use?
Usually it can, but like
this might
when
work
you got these others that I want to taste, I just don't want it to linger in this glass. Like
linger with a finger.
Ugh. Not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with that bottle. We'll just figure it out as we go. I've never had a bad blue Old Soul before. out of probably 5. But hey, man, it happens
Yeah,
sometimes.
I'm not going to pour the bottle out, but I will put a big black X on it and be like,
Chip says,
Mixer.
Mav could have drank that. Yeah, I'm really mad at Mav, too, because he ate my notepad today. He's being a dick. Ravin says, should have given it to Maverick, my man.
There you go.
And Eric G says, awfully early to be talking about titties and swallowing. Courtney, is there ever too early to talk about that?
You're the one that brought it all up.
I love those big old titties. It's a song I've been working on. Bridget says, I love it, but I hate Courtney had to taste something so awful.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to taste things you don't love.
Sometimes you got to take one for the team.
Okay, can you pour me something that's better? Let's try the 109. Let's try the 109.
Okay.
Moving over to the 109, we'll leave Bridget's comment up here because we love Bridgie and we're glad to have her on the show.
Thank you for joining us.
And being
and
part
our
of
thousands of viewers.
Part of our dozen. We love that.
Oh, that one had a good pop.
Wow, good pop.
Maybe there was something wrong with this one. Maybe that was the whole reason.
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
have
but
a
you
good
knew
pop.
before that it wasn't going to pop. How'd you know? You have a premonition?
I don't know.
I had a premonition. It's gonna be my turn tonight. A song by Alan Parsons Project called Prime Time.
I don't know that I've ever heard that one.
And it's a prime time. Maybe the stars.
All right, let's see here.
It's a better bourbon.
It's a better bourbon.
All right, so we got Old Soul 109 here. This is kind of a new offering for them. This is not allocated or anything. It's not a store pick. This is just straight up single barrel Old Soul at 109. Something that I've been advocating for them to do for a long time. And they did not hear my suggestion, but they're doing it anyway, and that's the right thing to do. By the way, this one is aged much better. 6 years and 9 months on this.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked this one up at the ABC store for 70-ish. I think you can find this a little bit lower.
Much better than the other one.
Yes. You can
I still like the first one best.
In the 60-ish range, I think.
Mm.
Let's see. Chip says you should write a strongly worded letter to the Old Soul makers after that last one. I think they would probably put that one on the people at the bottle shop, honestly.
That's their pick.
That was a pick from the bottle shop people. So it was butt.
It
This one
23, so we've had it for a minute and still haven't opened it. So
yeah, it just funkified or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
What'd you do to it?
I didn't do anything to it, but it just was not.
All right, so this one way better.
I'm gonna put some Diet Coke with that.
This
is
one's
much better. It's a lot lighter. You can feel that it's a lot lighter.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm getting on the nose here.
I'm not getting much on the nose due to pollen.
I heard you over there.
Trees.
Snuffling.
All the above.
Or Vince says that other Old Soul will be some unsavory house guest. Yeah, we have some people here we want to get the fuck out of the house. So here, have some of this.
This is amazing.
Now this 109, this is good. If this were more like 55 or $50, this would challenge some of the ones I really like. In that range. A lot of times on the bunker, there'll be a hey, best bourbon in the $50 range or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's some really good ones. Unfortunately, this one would not make the cut because it's a little more expensive. But also, you can't really see that necessarily on the picture. But I absolutely dig their bottle design. Like not the bottle, I shouldn't say
label.
The label design. I love the like the flashy blue that it like pops. It's like shiny. Mm-hmm. It's really just classy looking and somewhat minimalistic, but still sexy. I really dig it. And I remember when we went over there to tour with Cathead. This is before COVID. They were trying to figure out what they were going to call this because they knew it was aging and they were getting ready to produce it, but they didn't have a name for it. Mm-hmm. And we didn't hear Old Soul, but that's a great name because it's perfect for what it is.
True.
They think that it tastes old, but it's actually new, right? It's Old Soul.
There you go.
See what I mean? Have you ever been described as an Old Soul, Courtney?
I have not been described as Old Soul, but I have described others as Old Souls. We have a couple kiddos at my center I would describe as Old Souls.
How about Sonia Souls?
Oh, true, but it's not spelled.
Mike says maybe the Mississippi Water, IMO. It could be.
True.
It's that same
not
stuff.
That limestone from Kentucky. What?
That's true. That's what makes Kentucky bourbon so good.
Yes.
Chip says it makes me unhappy when others are so unsatisfied with their liquor purchases. That doesn't happen very often. Not in the Tate household.
No.
But it does suck because a lot of times with bourbon, right, you kind of dive in head first and you don't know exactly like, hey, is this going to be good? It's a big reason why me and Courtney don't chase the high dollar bourbons anymore, because it's like, if you're going to pay $200 and then the bourbon's like kind of average or worse, like, what have we done?
Yeah, true. Facts.
Good stuff, Courtney.
Facts.
I like
this.
This is much better.
This is much better. Then I will definitely go up from my 1.
I give this a 3.
I give it a 2.75.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. I'll take that.
I'm glad we're working up to where we're headed next, because the tin type is the one that's really given me the GBs, the good GBs in the past, because it'll hit you like a douche in the night. It's a popper.
It is a popper.
You really pop that stuff. So let me write it down. 2.75 for the snort.
Yes.
On the 109 Old Soul, the single barrel. Again, this is widely available in the state of Alabama. I've seen this in the Florida Panhandle as well. I don't know that I've seen this one in Georgia yet, but my guess is that they have it over there, because Georgia's a great place to buy bourbon. Lots of good stuff. Particularly when I go to Lurie's over there by the Tyler. What's his name?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Lurie's Beverage Outlet is a great place to get some bourbon. Our last Cathead selection of the eve, as the kids say, is the Tin Type Series Numero Uno. Although this is a little misleading, because they say Tin Type Series 1, and reading about this on Reddit today, they've had 4 different types of Tin Type number 1.
Oh,
so shouldn't there have been Tin Type 1, 2, 3, 4 then?
You would think so.
You would think so. The good news is that according to Reds, we got the best version.
Did you say Reds?
Yeah. That we got the best version of the Tin Type version 1.
Jay loves him some Reddit.
I do love some Reddit. I love getting in little fights in Reddit. Not trolley fights, though, just other fights. 122.3 proof, so this will kick you in the balls, or whatever else you got down
Vagine.
there. And again, I gave a bottle of this to one of my college basketball coaching friends, and because he was trying to get into bourbon, and he drank it and said, "Holy shit! I thought I was drinking lava. I can't finish it." I was like, "Bro, you need to finish it. Are you a man?"
Are you a man?
I'm sorry, Courtney.
That's okay.
I know you're
hair
not,
on my chest.
but you do drink. I can tell right away this is much better. Love that mouthfeel, thicker.
It's thicker.
It's got kind of a funky finish.
Doesn't feel like 122 proof.
No. This feels like the easiest drinking one.
Yeah.
Even easier than the 109.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say there's something on the very end that bothers me. I'm not sure what it is. By the way, if you're looking for sweet bourbons, this ain't it.
No, none of these are sweet.
This is dry, and this is rye-ishy.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's rye. It's spicy. But I could definitely get, as I like to say, get fucked up on.
Mike says, Courtney strikes me as an old soul. To me, that is a good thing. It's a food thing, but he meant good.
I don't think I'm necessarily an old soul. Like,
well, you were very
advanced.
think
somebody that's an old soul is somebody who's wise beyond their years, very mature.
But at a young age.
Yes. I don't think I would necessarily describe myself as that.
No, I would just say you're very street savvy. Like, you just look on your feet very well. Really good.
Typically, I do that pretty well.
Typically. How about like all the time?
Yeah.
By the way, we were in therapy today, me and Courtney. Well,
It sounds wrong.
You came to my therapy appointment.
I came to Jay's
as a character
appointment.
witness to some of the things that I talk about, and I was talking about how great you are.
It was very nice.
It's my pleasure.
It was very kind.
It's my pleasure to be your husband.
It's very kind. I enjoy being married to this guy.
And if you guys seriously, I'm not gonna stay on this point, but if you guys feel like you ever need therapy, would like to talk to a psychologist or a therapist about stuff, counselor, go do it. Don't let the stigma associated with that stop you from doing it. I go once a month, and I went more often when I felt like I needed it over stuff with my mom, stuff with my dad, stuff with my sister. I mean, stuff I need to work myself through. And if she can't fix it for me, which most of the time she can, but if she can't, go talk to somebody about it.
It's always good to have an impartial person listen to you and give you constructive feedback. And also provide you with coping mechanisms. Because a lot of times there may not be the right answer, but hey, when you get into this situation again, here's a way that you can deal with it. Here's how you can get through this tough situation. So.
Yep.
Yep.
And she's definitely given me some tools. And I love having her to tell me to, not her, well, she does that too, but my therapist, Rebecca, just being like, hey, I think you're being a puss about this. Or whatever.
Yeah. Like you need to step up on this.
Hold on. Chip says, visually, I get notes of new tires, walnuts, batteries, and coriander. We're
well,
gonna
I
give
would
them an
say
applause for
visually
that.
from this, you would get notes of cigarette smoke, being in a late night club in Memphis, Tennessee,
And the blues.
and
right?
the blues.
Let's see. Mike adds to say, you are a nurturing soul, i.e. children.
Depends on the child. Because when you have that one that's a smart ass, not so nurturing.
Courtney, we have a child.
The tone changes at work.
Cuz is in the hizzle. He says, cheers all.
Cheers.
Cousin probably was a little, I wouldn't blame him at all if he was a little bit late coming in because the Alabama was playing.
Mm-hmm.
BYU, I'm hopeful that they won because I would be happy for Chris in that case. They did win. 113 points. Are you shitting me?
Who did?
Alabama. They beat them 113 to 88.
God damn, that's a big one.
Wow.
That's
And
a big one.
your Florida Gators are up 15 on Maryland with 4 minutes to go.
They're not my Florida Gators, but
Florida. What they're called.
It's a good basketball team. I just don't want to talk necessarily about the coach.
So we're glad to have Cuz here with us now. Among the not quite a dozen yet.
Haven't made it yet.
Chip says, "Good advice, JGT. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you." And I know I don't.
And one of the great things about it is
it's
if you
wise.
do have health insurance, most of the time you may not know this, but a lot of the times it's covered, and you just have a little copay when you have to go to therapy.
Yeah, I think I paid 20.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
I don't know about that. Cuz giving some updates on Alabama says they hit a few threes.
Obviously, good lord.
Got 113 points. Good. Kind of sounds like one of those 1980s era NBA games. Dan Issel scores 47 points. Let's see.
So, Ravin says there's a special smell that's associated with cigarettes and pool table felt.
Wait, is there?
Yes, and it also happens to have the same smell as beer on the floor. Like there's that smell. It's different than beer. What's wrong?
25 of 51 from 3 tonight for Alabama.
Damn.
25 threes, guys.
Did they just stand on like the other side of the half
Do you know what they stood on?
business?
They stood on business. By the way, everyone's favorite, Aiden Holloway, 25 points in 23 minutes. I'm just going to leave that there.
All right.
Had a
Look at
fine
this,
night.
man. This is some good stuff here.
Let's see. Chipper says, welcome, cuz. Hope y'all plan to make it to Orange Beach again this year.
Oh, yeah. It's in April.
Well, it is going to be in April again, and we'll see how that goes. If cuz has the chopper.
A chopper.
Or he has the jet.
Yeah.
The Cirrus Vision jet. Mike says BYU must really suck. They may have some struggles defensively, yes, but they also scored 80-something points. So
They also made it to Sweet 16. You can't hate on them for that.
Oh, Cuz says can't make it, Courtney. Unfortunately, we have family staying with us that weekend.
Gotcha.
It's tough. Ravin says Alabama tried to be the Boston Celtics. Of course, Ravin, a huge Boston Celtics fan. You may not think of that as a guy who grew up in North Alabama, but he's a big
hey.
big Celtics fan, and it's going to be fun to be friends with Ravin in June when the Thunder take on the Celtics for the NBA title.
Oh,
you
is
heard
that
it
what
here
it's gonna
first.
be?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what's going to happen, and Ravin, I
Okay.
think, is on board with that too, as we discussed it over a round of food at Pounders in Crestview, Florida recently.
That's an interesting name for a restaurant.
Yeah, it's not a strip club. You just eat like Hawaiian food there, and it's delicious. It's really good. Let's see. T-Roy says, let's not get political with all this sports talk. This is sacred space for the 11 of us.
Hey, now listen.
There's 12.
There's 12. There is the dirty dozen has shown up.
Were we
yes.
talking about politics? I don't
think so.
Mike says, I ran into Dan Issel literally in my favorite Mexican place in Highlands Ranch, Colorado last year. I bet he was tall as hell, wasn't he? Dan Issel, the former Kentucky Wildcat.
Che, that's really smart of you to say that you thought he'd be really tall.
He looks a lot taller on TV, but Highlands Ranch, Colorado, Courtney. I have not been there. Have you been there?
Mm-mm.
We ought to go sometime.
I have not.
Wait, I know you would if you could. I'm glad that I made a reference to Dan
go
Issel then, Mike. Because that was just right out of...
I would go to Colorado quickly.
Would you, if you went, would you smoke a big fatty with me?
I don't.
You're not a big lunger.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like to ingest a lot of stuff in my lungs.
That's what Stevie Nicks said. So she put it in her butt.
Now some edibles, I might get into something like that.
I got something for you to eat.
Meow, meow, meow.
All right, Tintype Series 1, which is actually Series 3, the 122.3 proof.
Jay's renamed it. It's pretty good. It's good. It's good. My favorite was the first one, though, still.
No, this one's my favorite.
Really?
3.25 is what this one gets for me.
I'm going to go, I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.
That's pretty good, Courtney, for you. You're a hard grader.
I am.
You're a school marm.
I need that red pin out. X.
Hope you don't give me a red
This
pin.
is the one that needs the big fat fucking X on it, though. Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, because we had one earlier that I think might have been funked.
I don't know what it was, but it is not tasty.
It was the worst bourbon we've had since the one that we got up in Tennessee. That was hilariously bad.
Yeah.
This one wasn't hilariously
bad.
It
was trying to sell it to you.
All right, so 3.25 for me on the Tintype Series 1/3. So that is pretty good for me, and I would drink the shit out of that. And I'm going to make fun of my coaching friend who said he couldn't even touch it. It's not that hot. It's actually pretty soft for 120 proof, 122 proof.
Most people aren't used to just drinking.
Cousin notes that Old Elk is from Colorado. So if someone went to Colorado in search of bourbon, they could hit Eureka.
Would you go skiing?
No.
Why not?
Because I just read a story about Natasha Richardson, how she
my Lord.
hit her head. And
okay, Jay, I take you on the bunny slope.
She was on the bunny slope. She hit her head and she was fine, and then she wasn't fine. And her brain was mushed, and they had to take her off the...
Okay, well, that was fun. That was great.
That shit anymore. She was too hot to be that dead.
Oh, my God, Jay, stop.
Mike says he was 2 inches taller than I. He still looks like he did when he was playing.
Wow.
I read that as he was 2 inches longer than I. But he still looks like he did when he was playing. And he was playing a long time ago, so that means he's looking great.
It's been a minute.
He's probably 70-ish, 72-ish, something like that. Cuz says, I like their high-proof wheat bourbon. He's talking about the Old Elk, which, as I recall, me and Cuz and Becky and Courtney did a blind taste testing. We did a couple of those. And I think Old Elk was one of the surprise winners.
I don't recall.
It was one of those that we thought was really good, and we were like, oh, shit, it was Old Elk.
Hey, wait, that's the answer of the week, isn't it? I don't recall.
Oh, that's what Tulsi Gabbard would say.
So a lot of them were saying.
And the big disappointment in our blind taste test was Elijah Craig 18.
Yes.
Which we all said, this tastes like asshole, and it was Elijah Craig 18, which we had paid a good amount of money for. Let's see what we've got here. Mike says, I'm going to try Old Elk in a couple of months. That seems like a good thing to shoot for. And Chip says, bring that bad one to OBA for $88.20. We would love for AU Tiger 8820 to pound that. So he won't show up, first of all. He ain't coming. He ain't coming.
Big talker.
Revenge says, I think you can wear helmets.
You can.
You could. And Mike says, dude was in shape talking about Dan Issel. The former.
Okay, so out of all these.
Name one of the teams that Dan Issel played for in his life.
Kentucky.
We'll take it. Professionally? I'll give you a hint. Mike saw him in Denver.
He played for the Nuggets.
He played for the Denver Nuggets. He did.
He played for the Nuggies?
Good job.
They've been around that long?
They've been around a while, Corey. Let's see. You want to go to pictures or bourbon news?
Let's do our bourbon news first.
Bourbon news. Bourbon news.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This was so funny to learn about.
Yes.
So, dude from Lexington, Kentucky gets pinched for bootlegging. Seriously, like in this day and age. So, in Kentucky, you can sell bottles without a license. You can sell up to 24 bottles and within a 12-month period. Okay, so like
to anybody?
Yeah, to anybody. Okay, you can do that without any trouble, legal issues, whatever. This dude decides, you know what? I'm going to do a few more than 24. So in 12 months, he sold 1,700.
1,700 bottles?
Yes, 1,700 bottles.
Guys, that's not gonna fit in the Tesla.
And the problem is that he's selling them to retail outlets. Okay, so the Lexington Herald Leader, somebody is a bourbon aficionado there, and saw this guy's company's name on all these bottles, and he did a little investigative story.
Fucking reporters.
Yes, and then all of a sudden, the Kentucky ABC agents get involved. And they did a search warrant for his phone, his GPS, his call logs, and they had a 90-day surveillance of his vehicle going on. Like, this is some serious stuff.
They surveilled him.
Yes, they did. So he was selling most of it to a store in Fayette Mall, which we lived in Lexington. We used to go to Fayette Mall. And he is currently charged with 25 misdemeanors.
Whoa.
I mean, it's a misdemeanor, but 25, like, that's pretty significant. He was selling Pappy, Blanton's, Eagle Rare, and one of your favorites, the Woodford Reserve Double Oak.
Double Oak.
Yes. So those were some of the things that he was getting on shelves and getting a nice little fat kickback for.
So 25 misdemeanors.
Yes.
To me, that's like getting your balls flicked with one finger 25 times. The first time doesn't really hurt.
Yeah.
The second time you can make it through. The 10th time, it's going to start hurting like a son of a bitch.
Well, I don't think that you get out of 25 misdemeanors very easily, but I just thought it was crazy. I was like, really? And then when I found out like all the investigation that went into it, it's pretty daggone serious. And when you look at the accounts, it's like on April 16th, whatever year, it says exactly what he sold to him and everything. So pretty darn interesting.
Prevents his Kentucky tax dollars at work right there.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So also, the amazing Steph Curry, who everybody knows as a bourbon giant, has his Gentleman's Cut that has been released prior to this, but now he is releasing a cut rye version. Mm-hmm. And it says on it that it is aged 4,000 days.
So I looked that up a little bit. So
what is 4,000 days?
He just recently, I don't know how many days that is. It's like, what, 10, 12 years?
I don't know
years?
what it is.
He just recently hit his 4,000th three-pointer.
Oh, okay.
That was a big deal.
Okay, I get it now. I was like, why does it have that many days on it?
It's an odd thing.
Yes.
I know it's kind of cute, but it's still kind of
But you got to have some bank for this rye, and you got to like some rye because it is $333 a bottle.
Vince says, what did the guy get? The bootlegger, did he get community service?
He hasn't gone to court.
This has not been adjudicated yet, Ravin. Yes. But my guess he's going to get his balls flicked at least 25 times.
I mean, I would imagine he's going to have a lot of community service.
And then Cuz says aged 1 day for each three. That's one way to put it, Cuz. That's the way they should have said it. That would be really cool. Chip says, do you think maybe he thought you said horse? He's talking about my Dan Issel. He said, true story, when I bumped into him, I said, horse. And he said, what's up? True story. And then Chip says,
horse.
Maybe he thought you said horse.
There you
that
go.
sounds like something that I would say,
there you go.
By the way.
What bourbon happenings did you
And also the price on the Gentleman's Cut rye.
I already said it was $333. $333. That makes sense now. Now you said it. $333 for his threes.
It's not just the Stuart Vance Law Firm. 3 for me.
3.
Blood Oath 11 debuts in April. Something that me and Cuz would love to have, but probably won't. That's going to be available at the distillery, that beautiful distillery at Lux Row, across the highway from Bardstown Bourbon Company. The Blood Oath 11. Here's my problem with the Blood Oath 11. Everybody knows we're doing finished bourbons now, and that's something that everybody's excited about. This one is going to come from barrels that housed Añejo tequila.
Okay.
So finished in tequila barrels.
Interesting.
Not sure. And
that sounds kind of unique.
Yeah, and you have to word it differently because that's not how you do tequila, really. So it said in barrels that held tequila.
Yeah, because it's like
I'm not a biggest fan of tequila anyway, so this probably is going to be a swerve for me.
Interesting.
But I just thought that was an interesting idea, and I have not heard of that before.
I have not either.
Tequila finished bourbon, or yeah.
Hmm.
Also, a 1928 whiskey was found on the beach recently. I read this on NJ.com.
What?
A stash of some whiskeys were found submerged or partially submerged in the sand off the shore of New Jersey. And I looked this up, and here's what the bottles looked like. That's one of the actual bottles.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it had some inscriptions on it, as you can see. I've got my notes here. It said it was from the Lincoln Inn, is what it said. I don't know if your TVs are big enough. You can see a little bit where it says Lincoln there. That is a Canadian distillery that was open from about 1918 to in the 1970s is when it shuttered. So it is believed that this was distilled in 1928.
That is really freaking cool.
Now, I'm skeptical as fuck that somebody, this has just been sitting there for 100 years and just now it washes up. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Maybe it was under the sand and the sand is finally washed out and there it was.
Maybe it was under the sea.
I mean, that's really cool though.
Under the sea. There's more bottles here. These are the actual bottles that were found and the condition they were found in. These cloudy ones, man.
I found some seashells with it too.
Seashells by the seashells?
And some sunscreen. And I'm not sure what that other item is back there.
Oh, that's a vibrator.
No, I don't want, no.
That's for an experienced woman.
No.
Mia Khalifa signed it. I also got some conch shells. Isn't that what they call them? Conch shells? Conch shells, Courtney? Is that why they call you conky? No. So those are the bottles, guys. And again, you really think these were sitting out there for 100 years?
That bottle, the design on the bottle looks old as hell.
I'm thinking that somebody had these and then they deposited them out there recently to fuck with people or something. I don't know. Would you drink it? The answer, no. But some people on Reddit were saying they would pound that shit. I don't know. Some people are stupid about what they'll put in their bodies. Am I right, Courtney?
That is true.
Let's see. Chip thinks they may have been buried during Prohibition.
That's a possibility.
That would make a lot of sense. Ravin thinks, and Ravin obviously is a scientist, looks like really yellow piss.
It does. It looks like those catch bags of your catheter.
Cuz does like the bottle.
It is neat.
It is kind of ornate. I got to agree with that. And also, if you look at this one right here.
I mean, I'd be willing to try just like this much of it.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
I lost my bottle.
Some pretty interesting bourbon news we had to share this week, Jeff.
There's the bottle. I'm trying to get it as big as possible, Courtney. I mean, the top of that does look all kind of like funkified. Yeah. Like it's been in the water for a while. But like this one, I mean, it looks pretty damn well preserved. I still wouldn't drink it, though.
I don't know. I'd take a little sip.
Mike says cockshells?
Mm-mm. Nope, that's not what they're called.
I think that's what they were called in my home.
Nope.
Is it time, Courtney, now for photos?
I believe so.
The week in photos. Courtney and I were driving on Vaughn Road today in the Tesla, and I did a voice command, and I said, attitude adjustment passenger.
And guess what? The car could not handle that request.
Yes, command not understood. I guess I need to word it a little bit better.
Nope. I don't know. The only thing it could do is make me fart, I guess. That's the only thing the car could do.
Attitude adjustment passenger.
Command not understood. That is true. See?
Courtney said, why don't you put your thumb up your butt?
That's right.
All right. Let's see what else we've got photo-wise here, Courtney. We'll start off here. This is one that came up on the board the other day.
You talking about the penis tongue?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. This was the UK logo. When I started as a sports writer in 96, this was the UK logo. And it was changed because they said the Wildcat had a cock in his mouth. And yeah, it does look like a dick.
Yeah, it always did. That was the talk then, Jay.
And they changed it to have he has a straight, this logo's antiquated now, but it has a straight tongue. Not a gay tongue, but a straight tongue. But that's definitely a cock. Like somebody did that on purpose, right?
I'm sure they did.
Eric G said he would try the darker looking one. He's not talking about the cat's cock. He's talking about the bourbon or the whiskey.
Yes.
From earlier. And Ravin says, chances of whiskey being lost for nearly a century or some drunk bottling piss in New Jersey, which is more likely. This is exactly how I feel about it.
I'm pretty sure it was lost for a century.
I'm with Ravin. I'm going to let you taste it. And if you tell me it's salty, I'm going to know exactly what time it is.
It's from the salt water.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Here I am shucking a...
Well, you need to show you shucking. Or
Oh,
does this
no, I don't. That's
okay.
the only picture I had.
Okay, so Jay, for the first time ever, shucked an oyster. Yes, he did not eat said oyster.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat it, but
he pried that sucker open.
And I was shucking him. My friend J Dub was showing me how to do it. And I just didn't have any experience with that. So that's a skill I never had.
Yeah.
And now I have one.
Amazing. We're so proud. Too bad none of us like oysters in their family.
Mike says, Commodore, I've added to my Tesla to spite the haters recently. Am I stupid or what? You talking about? Are you talking about the stock?
Oh.
I don't even know what it's trading at right now. I'm sure it's down in the 200s now. I would probably not touch that one unless it got under 200. I am very concerned about their Q1 sales numbers that are going to come out whenever that comes out. I guess in April, they're going to be absolutely atrocious, and there's no way that stock's going up from there.
It might be a little struggle.
I do think the Cybercab and their self-driving technology is the key to their future success. But I think these sales numbers are going to tank it again. So my guess, Mike, is you get the fuck out of there and you spend your money on a stock called APP. It's called App 11. It's a great stock. It's done me and Courtney really, really well.
Okay, Jay and his stock tips, y'all.
So that's the end of the stock tips for me. Thank you for that query, Mike. Let me move on to this one right here. I took this picture at Pro Day the other day. That is Peyton Thorne being interviewed by the War Eagle Plus chick, whose name I don't know. But I thought it was funny that she had to stand on like a little styrofoam stand just to talk to Peyton. And she's still way shorter than him, you know?
Well, and it's clear that Peyton is not looking at her eyes.
What's he looking at?
Her boobs.
Oh, really? She don't have any.
Well, he's looking where they should be.
Revenge says, shuck it good. Ding, 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 ding. Meow, meow. Chip says, JGT, plug in the Courtney breadsticks pic into ChatGPT and have it render in the style of Studio Ghibli, an old anime style. The memes going around are hilarious.
Interesting.
I need to know more about Studio Ghibli. That's pretty cool. I'll check it out, Chip. I appreciate that. Also, Arvin has an idea for another channel, Stock Tips with Frosted Tips.
Hey, there
Can't
you
do
go.
it, man. Can't do it, man.
There you go.
Me and Cuz ought to do that. Cuzzo and the Douche ought to do that show. Maybe we could we could pivot to Stock Tips on Cuzzo and the Douche. Here we go. A picture I took at Pro Day. Again, this is BMAT.
Working hard.
My main man. And he was typing out a story on the recycling bin. And I just thought that was amazing. So I got a picture.
Got to get his work done.
And BMAT is a hard worker. And he's one of the legends at auburnsports.com right there, kicking absolute ass. Let's see. T-Roy Tiger says Peyton Thorne, big vision. Matt says, I assume Thorne had fled the state months ago. Mike says, who dat blonde? And Mike B, my man. I believe he's from Indiana. Not mistaken. So good evening. Having a pour of John J. Bowman single barrel tonight. We had one bottle of that and we pounded it.
Yeah.
It was muy delicioso. And Mike, so glad to have you here, my man. Matt says also she looks very much like Megan Trainor. Wait, hold on. This
interesting.
Girl, isn't Megan Trainor
Megan
fat?
Trainor has a little. No, Megan Trainor has a little more in the caboose.
Isn't she fat?
Than this girl. She is not fat.
Reddit says she's a whale. I'm just telling you what they said.
Well, Reddit is a definite, reliable news source.
So I'm supposed to believe this girl's a whale? Because she's thin.
Jay, stop.
All right, whatever. I'm somewhere, something was lost about Megan Trainor. I don't know who she is.
Hey,
look at this asshole.
Look who came to work with me. He was such an attentive, attentive guest. Yes, so he sat there and...
what a dick, man.
He sat there in the chair, watched me working, looked out the window when anybody would come in. He was so happy to see the kids. He loves going to kindergarten.
B. Haynes says she doesn't have it in the truck anymore. She's talking about Megan
Really?
Trainor. Megan Trainor's flat ass now?
Really, man.
I can't pick her out of a lineup, I swear to God.
Interesting. I
There's
thought
no
that
way.
I thought she had a, what do they call it? Oh, a bulldozer. Isn't that what it's
Dump
called?
truck.
Dump truck. Shit.
Yo,
Wrong one.
look at that dump truck. Oh my god.
Look at Mav. He's such a good boy.
I'm just mad at Mav right now. He ate my favorite what do you call it thing? Notepad earlier today. It pissed me off.
He was trying to get attention, just like a toddler.
Dick. This is something I wanted to bring up for those of you who live in and around Montgomery. I know Matt is one of those. I drive up and down the road from Auburn to Montgomery and vice versa all the time. Have you guys noticed that like every fucking time you drive up and down Highway 85 now, it's blocked?
There's always a wreck, or always construction, or always some kind of situation. Like yesterday, there were 2 situations.
Well, yesterday I saw 3. First of all, I was going to Auburn yesterday for Tiger Walk, and I couldn't make it because shit was so fucked up. Second thing, I ran into 3 stops before I even got to Shorter. So we had a suicide situation on the Pike Road overpass, by the way, if you didn't know that. Somebody jumped off the top of the Pike Road overpass.
Yeah.
Down,
yeah.
Gravity did the work.
Mm-hmm.
And so that shut the interstate down both directions for a period of time while they were kind of attending to that. And then we had construction. This is the one from yesterday, construction going out and construction coming in.
And it's spring break time. And why aren't you doing that at night? That doesn't make any sense.
Let's see. Matt says, I'm talking about her face. Look at it. Okay.
We couldn't see her face.
I could, but previously. I mean, she's like 12 years old.
Oh.
Cuz said all about that bass, No trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she'd say no trouble.
Oh.
Like she wasn't bothered by people having.
There you go.
And also, Mike says, I know you lie, your lips are moving. That's another Meghan Trainor song, right? So anyway, I-85, guys. I've been driving this road up and down since 1998. I have never seen it as bad as it is now.
I don't know what it is.
It's got to be people
something.
on their phones.
And so many wrecks. And not just like small wrecks, like end of life wrecks. Yeah.
You know there's a Canadian band called Big Wreck?
I did not know that.
They're fine. They're tremendous. All right, here we go. My bad. Next photo. Courtney.
Okay, so going to the old Costco. And I was like, I have never seen larceny or Michter's at Costco. I don't think I have. Maybe I have, and I just haven't paid attention. Anyway, I was very surprised to see all that. But the next picture I was very surprised at.
Here we go. Next picture. Nope,
not that one. That one. Look at all that bourbon cream and $23. Like, great deal. Usually this is hard to find. So this is a nice little steal there. I didn't pick any up because I just got some at the bottle shop and I was so happy to find it there.
Yeah, I know you were. You were fired
And
up.
I was like, and then I get here and there's cases of it. But a nice little find there at the old Costco for the bourbon cream. Delicious on some ice cream with a warm brownie. Just as an after dinner drink. Much better than Kahlua.
Matt, who lives here in Montgomery, says it's been ridiculous lately. I have no idea what's going on. I'm talking about not the bourbon cream, but 85. The traffic on 85. Not necessarily traffic, it's the wrecks.
The wrecks, yeah. Everybody's wrecking, like significant wrecks, not fender benders.
If everybody was using full self-driving from Tesla, we'd be much better off.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, you guys, this stuff's amazing. Also, look at this. We went to the zoo the other day.
Oh, look at the baby.
And this was the first day that the new pygmy hippo was out.
What did mommy? And look at the cesspool it's sitting in. But like, look at the baby hippo. She was so cute.
Can you see the little baby hippo there?
She just rested with her mommy.
She's got a name that's like Antuna or something.
Something is so cute.
Oh, I didn't. Well, they weren't really moving around very much.
No, they were just kind of chilling, but it was so cute. I was so happy to see it. And apparently, Montgomery Zoo is like the hip place to have pygmy hippos because they have a lot of them and they have a good breeding program, which was kind of interesting. So, but it was a fun, beautiful day. We had a great time.
B. Haynes, first name redacted, says make French toast with the bourbon cream.
Oh, that would be tasty.
Wow, that's
I haven't made French toast in a long time.
Yeah, well, you're not really French. You're 100% honky. Ravin says Montgomery Zoo is very underrated. It's actually surprisingly good for. Well, hold on now.
I remember when we moved here, and I was like, "There's a zoo in Montgomery." Like, I was very surprised, and it was amazing at that time. It's not quite as great now. There's not as many animals as there used to be.
That's true.
But you know, a lot of the big funders have left town or died off themselves.
Is that true?
Well, we talked about that. Like,
who's we?
The bank. We talked about this with Chris and Becky.
Oh.
About how Colonial was a big one. KinderCare was a big donor. Like all those businesses are gone. So anyway, it's still nice. It's just not quite as busy, I guess, as it used to be. But it was a beautiful day.
Maddie T says, good evening, Blenders. Montgomery Zoo was so fun.
It was fun. We had
a
a
lot
nice
of
little
fun.
family time.
Cuz said he missed the baby at first. I mean, it's hard to see. If you're not looking for a baby in that picture, you don't necessarily see it.
So cute. You're the baby.
And Chip says, I always think of hippos when I think of Montgomery.
Courtney? I'm not sure how to take that, Chip. So
since you're one of the girls he knows from Montgomery,
yeah,
I guess he's trying to say
what are you
you're
trying
a hippo?
to say, Chip?
It's a dick move. Maddie T says, yo, friends, just got off work. That's what I love to hear.
Exactly.
You love to hear when your kids are getting off work.
Yes. Nice. Earn that check, girl.
Whenever I see yo now, I think of that guy going, yo, look at that dump truck. Yo, look at that cake.
Yes.
Look at that chest. Ravin says, did y'all hang out in the reptile house? I did.
We did. There was not as many in there, but they are building a new reptile habitat.
Yes.
So there weren't as many as I recall seeing before, because they used to have a really giant albino
boa.
Was it boa?
It wasn't a dangerous
python in there.
Fair enough.
I didn't see him this time.
They sold that one to James Hetfield of Metallica.
No, definitely.
I'm serious. No, I'm not really serious. But I did want to hang out in the reptile house. I was looking for snakes. I am on the snake identifying subreddits.
Weirdo.
Just so I can kind of get used to what snakes look like. Because I've always been really scared of snakes. But most of the snakes in Alabama are harmless. Rat snakes and shit like that. Like, they're not going to hurt you. They help you. Those ones that lived under my mom's deck, like, they're just there, like, killing rodents and shit you don't want around anyway.
I'm not interested really.
I didn't say I wanted to necessarily hang with them.
Yeah.
Chip says, I promise I didn't cook any of the animals that disappeared from the Montgomery Zoo.
Glad to hear that.
They didn't have any camels disappeared, my man. Cuz says Chip and his camels. Cuz says, I did ride a camel at the Montgomery Zoo one time.
Interesting.
It is a shame we don't have video of this. I'm assuming we don't have video of this. Unless we can.
I will tell you that one animal that freaked me out was the ostrich.
Really?
Yes. Because remember, we were sitting there and we were just like looking out over, quote, the savannah. And then all of a sudden, I didn't know it, but I looked down and there's that. They're really big. Like, that thing is big. And he was right there and looking at you, and his eyes are like this big. I have a funny story, though, about an ostrich, though, because they have that drive-through safari here, close to here, like near Hope Hole.
Yeah.
And apparently it's open now. And one of our KinderCare families went through there last week, and the kid ran out of food. And the ostrich stuck its head in and headbutted the kid. He has a black eye from it. I was like, damn, there's some assertive animals in there.
Maddie says, haha, I need to see Cuz on a camel.
Yes.
That'd be a good song by the Police. Cuz on a camel. Ravin says, depends on where you find a snake, Jay. And a creek is not a fun place to find a snake.
Usually not.
I found a snake in the lake.
Yes.
And he's just a water snake. He's just chilling.
Yeah, but a lot of times the water moccasins are in the creeks.
By the way, we want to give Maddie a shout out. She took the equivalent of a PSAT, I guess, for her
nursing.
When you finish nursing school and you got to get licensed as a nurse, you've got to take this test and pass it, right? Or you got to get a certain grade. I don't know, whatever. What's the name of it?
NCLEX.
NCLEX.
Mm-hmm.
And she took her pre-NCLEX today and got I don't want to talk too much shit here, but a very good grade.
Yeah. Proud of her.
Very proud of Maddie. And I think based on her score today, she's got like a 98% chance to pass the NCLEX. So.
Well, there you go. That means paycheck comes sooner. Yeah. And filling out a resume today and applying to jobs. It's like big world stuff out there.
We're going to give her this sound bite just because we love Maddie.
Who is swag, baby? Who is? Oh, crime, preach.
That's for Chip too. He would definitely love that one. Chip says, I think I rode a camel at the fair down here when I was a kid.
Okay.
Also, Chip says ostriches are ZFG. They are fun to feed at the petting zoo. There's no way, bro. I wouldn't get near that guy. He seemed like he would peck at you.
Those eyes freak me out. Like he is looking in your soul.
Next picture, Courtney. We still have one to go. No, it's still that one. Dang, I guess we're out.
Oh, look at him. Passed out. Water sprayed everywhere.
Courtney, of course.
Here she is with food in her hair.
And Jay.
And Jay and his breadsticks.
Man, I was just partied out. I wonder if this picture came right before the captain one.
Which one?
Like,
oh, definitely.
Did this lead to the other
yes.
one? I don't know. Anyway, I'm still very proud of the Tesla picture. Oh, that was, wait, hold on, wrong one. I'm very proud of that. Was really funny.
That is funny.
I got you pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we will now go, I guess it's time for the one everybody waits for.
Everybody's been waiting for Courtney's Corner.
Courtney's Cornir.
Yes.
Of course, before we run Courtney's Corner.
You gotta listen to this music.
We
I gotta turn up this volume.
Courtney's Corner. Here we go. Y'all ready?
Okay, so once again, Jay doesn't like my Courtney's Corner.
I mean, there's no
topic.
variation to it. Is
Listen.
the problem.
Listen,
Linda.
Listen, Linda. Okay? Waffle House hash browns are freaking awesome when you have a really good cook. Okay, but there's no other option than scattered. You can't put them in that little,
Ringer.
the little,
cock ring.
yeah, it looks like a cock ring. I mean, a very large cock ring, but like a.
I was just a small one.
Oh, okay. All right. You sure would. The metal ring, and no, nobody needs it in that. They have to be scattered so they can get a little bit crispy. Need them a little bit crispy. And then they have to be smothered, okay, with some onions.
Yeah.
And then covered with cheese. That's it.
Scattered,
Nothing else.
smothered, and covered. I think that's a Hootie and the Blowfish album.
Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else.
That is an album.
Yes. So, Jay thinks that this is silly.
Wait, hold on. What do I think silly?
The hash brown conversation.
Yeah, it's because everybody does it the same way. Like scattered, smothered, and covered is probably 90% of what they do.
Well, a lot of times you don't have smothered. A lot of people don't like onions in them. But
so
I like onions in mine now.
I would almost, unless I was trying to cut back on my weight or whatever, I would always get chunked. Because I think the diced ham really adds something to it. That's why I put the picture of it over there. No. And then the topped for me is good too. Although,
but
I don't
there are a lot of other options.
Courtney, that's interesting. Why don't you go ahead and share some of the other options?
I did not know this, but there is a country option.
I did not know that.
Which is with sausage gravy on it.
Sausage?
That sounds terrible to me. But I know you might like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't hate it.
There's also peppered, which is with jalapenos. Diced is with grilled tomatoes.
No.
Not really interested in that.
No.
And the last one I would ever get on here is capped.
That's apparently what Ravin is in.
With mushrooms.
First of all, Otag, welcome to the show, my man. Glad to have you here. He says he showed up just in time for breadstick pictures.
Yes, nice.
And then Ravin says he goes capped over topped.
Oh, first of all, mushrooms on anything is a negative. No mushrooms. We don't do fungus, so no.
And Otag says that Jay with the God tier Waffle House hash browns. Well done, sir. Thank you.
Nope.
And Courtney bitches at me every time I get them.
No.
I like it.
No.
I'm like, well, you don't have to eat them.
No. Apparently the chili is like a Waffle House staple. Like it's called birch chili. I don't even know anything about
That's right.
it. But
Chip knows. He calls us bird chili. Never met Bert.
I've not seen Bert at the Waffle House. Now, the thing is, you can eat those hash browns at 6 a.m., noon, 6 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m. It doesn't matter. They are good any time of day. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% on board with this.
And now they have hash brown bowls. I saw that on their little menu. I was like, oh, I might be able to be talked into that. Like one of those grilled chicken breasts, they call it, patties. They're a little grilled chicken and chopped up and put on that.
That sounds good as hell, actually.
I know.
I like their chicken a lot.
I know. It might be pretty good.
I usually get a chicken sandwich when I get there. It's really juicy and succulent.
I love some Waffle House eggs, though. They do a really good job with eggs.
You know who is not on board with this whole discussion will be Baggy. Baggy hates Waffle House with a passion.
Really?
I made him go one time, and he was bitching the whole time. He said everything tastes like dishwater.
Ugh.
There's nothing worse than going to a Waffle House and having some dickhead like him
Bitch about it.
bitch about the good food that you're paying for him to eat.
No.
By the way, Baggy is Josh Moon.
Waffle House is 24 hours for a reason. That is true.
Thank you, Chip Chip. That's very good.
So I will also say the All-Star Special, isn't that what it's called?
That's probably
I mean,
true.
it used to be a great value. I'm sure it's much more money now than it used to be. But you used to get eggs and like your choice of meat. Like you could get sausage or bacon and toast. And grits or hash browns. Did I say the waffle?
Sure you did, honey.
Waffle.
Mike says onions and peppers only. Get the ham with your eggs.
Nope.
Peppers. I'm not. Ever since we started doing HelloFresh, I respect peppers more than I used to. But I just don't know, man. I don't know. I consider getting it. Eric G says the best time to have them is when you're hammered.
That is true.
That is true.
That is true.
That is one
All right. I think the last time I had it when I was really hammered, I was in a formal dress and like I went to eat the hash browns and it like spilled all the way to grease all the way down the front of the fancy dress.
Oteg says I don't think I've ever had Waffle House hash browns while having a blood alcohol content of less than 0.2.
True.
We have been in there drunk as shit a few times. We were in there.
We tried to go to Waffle House the other day.
The other day.
As a between breakfast and lunch, and you would have thought that they were giving away free food.
Yeah, what was the deal?
Yeah,
we were like, no chance this is happening.
There was no way we were getting in that restaurant.
By the way, anybody that's new on the show, like haven't been here today, I'm wearing a Seattle Kraken jersey because I got it for $25 at Ross Dress for Less. So if you guys are wondering, that's why. And
you say Ross Dress for Less. Nobody else says that.
That's what it says in the fucking.
The name of the place is called Ross. Their advertising slogan is "Dress for Less."
Maybe you should work. There we go. Okay. Look at Matt. He's already tweeting at me.
Oh.
This looks like Lauren Peaceman to me.
No, it does not.
Oh. She is. Here's the War Eagle girl, by the way. Matt, thank you for tweeting this at us to let me know.
She got a unique face.
This looks like Lauren Peaceman to me, like dolled up.
No, her forehead is smaller than her cheekbones.
Well, anyway, I thought she did a fine job. She was very spirited, and she seemed to really care about her job.
Well, so that's great. Good for her.
That's the important
way to knock it out of the park. What's her name?
I don't know what her
War
name
Eagle
is.
Girl.
War Eagle Girl.
There you go.
Hold on. War Eagle Plus Girl. Chip says, still not bad for the money. Completely agree. It's a very good value. Even though they have a surcharge for eggs right now, it's bullshit. They're obviously Dems. Ravin says, they say our brains developed because some caveman ate a bunch of mushrooms and it promoted neuron development. Eat mushrooms, people.
Ravin, our brains develop because we have communication skills and we talk amongst each other.
Hey.
90% of brain development happens in the first 5 years of life.
Hey, Ravin.
It's very important to have a strong early childhood education.
You know what else is really important? Is commas. Because here he's telling us to eat mushroom people. It should say eat mushrooms, comma, people.
I don't know. Oh, the little mushroom people from
Mario.
Mario
Brothers.
You're supposed to eat those. That's what it is.
What's your fastest you've ever gotten through a level on Super Mario Brothers?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's good as shit.
I had fun.
That's good.
I saw a little meme this week and it said that was the start of everybody's stress. Was trying to get through.
Like speedrunning.
Yeah, like speedrunning and going up and down, all that stuff. That was our stress when we were kids.
Chip says I only hit Waffle House maybe 2 or 3 times a year, but I know exactly what to do. Once you get the Rubik's Cube solved, you never want to go back again. He says they stopped serving the T-bone steak. They used to have a sign saying they were the #1 server of T-bones. I never tried it myself. I didn't either, but I remember them saying that it was they.
I know. I was like, I don't think I can get a steak at Waffle House. That's kind of like when they say they sell steak at the Dollar Tree.
Eric G says, now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I've ever had Waffle House anywhere near being sober. I have for sure.
I have. We had it during COVID. We had carry out from there because it was a place in there.
Vince is Courtney with an I. Don't be so judgy. Courtney and judgy with an E. Like that. Matt says she looks like Meghan Trainor. Come on, man.
Hey.
He's bringing it full circle here, guys.
That's right.
Let's give him a DJ air horn for that one. Good job, Matt. Way to be. Look, this is very relatable. I passed out at a Waffle House once back in the day. I originally thought it was disgusting, but I think, quote, have you ever really lived if you have not passed out at a Waffle House at least once?
Or you don't remember going to the Waffle House. Like, if you didn't pass out there, you don't remember that you actually went in there and you ate a meal. That's a pretty bad sign, too.
Raven says, YouTube doesn't like correct grammar. Take it up with them. Dear YouTube. How dare you?
There's lots of YouTube doesn't like.
Yeah, I found this out recently, actually. Stoop Up says, there was a dude. First of all, Stoop Up, welcome, bro. Glad to have you. There was a dude at a Waffle House who ate white gravy on top of all the stuff on Jay's order. It looked awful.
Oh, so that must have been the sausage gravy.
Country.
Yeah, country style.
You get it country style.
So I guess you say I want to, or you can get, all the way would be all these things. That would be onions, cheese, ham, jalapenos, tomatoes, mushrooms, chili, and sausage gravy. That just sounds beyond disgusting.
You're not even having...
you can't even find the hash browns.
Yeah, there's no hash browns anymore. They're like 10% of what's going on.
Ish.
Chip says, thanks to monkeys eating mushrooms, Courtney.
I mean, okay. That's right.
Every time I see your name spelled like that, it's funny to me. You need to put that on your name tag at KinderCare.
Oh, that would be great.
Courtney.
I'd fit in with that.
Hey, are you Courtney from Courtney's Corner?
No, I just need to take the U out, too. So it's COURTNI.
Courtney.
Courtney.
Our friend Gabe, his sister's name is Courtney with no U.
That's not right.
But it does have a Y. So
right.
She gets halfway there. Chip says psychedelics' relationship to the development of human consciousness is an intriguing rabbit hole to dive into.
Okay. Excellent.
I mean, Carl Jung would certainly agree with that.
Yes.
And so would Sigmund Freud, but I'm not sure that Carl Rogers, your hero, would agree with that.
Hey, you know what, cuz? It's after 9 p.m. They'll deliver to you.
They will.
They will deliver between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m.
Cuz and B. Haynes also have the luxury of sending out the
oh, that's true.
the
Send
youngster
out the attaché.
Hey, man. Mom and Dad need a little help. Come and help me. Who changed your diapers when you were half a year old?
I know. Yeah, Raven, we were talking about the hash brown bowls. I have not tried it. I haven't been to Waffle House. It probably has been 2 years, maybe, since we've been to Waffle House. Now, we got to hit some damn Waffle House this weekend, whether you want it or not, Jay.
Let me see if I can find a picture of this.
Waffle House.
Was it signature?
Signature bowls.
Hash browns?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if we can get a picture up for you guys. Uh-oh. Come back. Oh, here we go. Can we get a picture here, Miss Courtney? Oh. Huh.
Okay.
That's a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Potential
Basically,
allergens.
it looks exactly like
So
what you already get.
Here's the signature bowl right there, guys.
Okay, that looks like what you get anyway, but it's in a bowl.
Well, and there's eggs in this bitch too. I don't really need eggs. So
oh,
much.
there are eggs.
I don't need
I
eggs.
didn't see that.
I'm good on it. There's no eggs offered here.
No, you're right. Okay, but here's the thing: I want eggs, but I don't want it in my hash browns. I want it next to it.
No, I respect.
I don't know why it's all going to the same place. Like, why does it matter? But I guess that's like my grandfather, who used to eat on his plate, and he'd eat all the vegetables, and then he'd turn his plate and he'd eat all the meat, and he'd turn his plate and he'd eat all the whatever else was there, bread or stuff.
I've never heard the story. He ate like in stages, kind of?
No, I mean, he would not mix the stuff. He would eat the entire portion of whatever food was there and rotate the plate to eat the next portion.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, that was what he did. I don't know why, but that's what he did.
I got questions for him. I wish I could ask him.
Well, you can ask him when you get upstairs, but that's not anytime soon. You got a while. Long while.
If I approached him up there, he would be like, who the fuck are you?
He would know who you are because he can see us right now.
Let me ask you this existential question, though. If I met him, would he be old or young?
I would assume that they're probably the age they are when they die. That would be my guess.
So I'd be old and he'd be old. And then
they'd be old, but they'd be healthy old. That's my thought on it.
But I'd be talking about banging his granddaughter, who would also be old, because you'd be old too, right? Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean, I don't think you're going to have that conversation with him.
What if he asked me?
Hey, how's my granddaughter in the sack?
Yes. What if he asked me that? Would it bother you? It should.
Yeah, that would be pretty creepy. And you'd be like, it was nice to know you, Bull. I'm out. Like, that's creepy.
The IPF really fucked you up, man. Soup Up says, I used to go to the Waffle House by the old supper club, stone cold sober, after printing customer end of the month bank statements, and it was delicious and fascinating.
Oh, I'm sure the clientele was fascinating.
Sociologically, I think that would be very useful.
Yes.
Let's see what he said. It would be like 3 a.m. and I was the only dude in there sober.
Yeah, you're just hoping nobody yaks like near you.
Eric says Courtney with a U, but an I is her stripper name.
Ah, yes.
Chip says, I got a Blackstone and a waffle maker. I can go full Waffle House at any time within 30 minutes.
Okay, you know what, Chip? If it gets too late down there in Orange Beach, we might be throwing some hash browns on it.
If we get that hazmat Willet at 135 proof, he can go Waffle House in 15 minutes. Is Ravin saying, is Jay just ordering Waffle House right? Hold on.
He might. You never know. Jay has never ordered food on his phone in his life. He wouldn't know what to do.
It's never happened.
He would be lost.
When you were out for lunch the other day, and I needed to go to Tropical Smoothie Cafe, I go, God damn it! I wish Courtney was here to order this shit.
Order the shit. I just hit repeat on the order. We're very.
Mike says, imagining Courtney as a ...
hash brown bowl.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Would that mean you're very edible? Chip says, not topped. Send it back.
No chili.
Topped means it has chili on the top.
That's right.
According to our notes. I was just given this thing. I don't know. Stu Pup says, Waffle House is our family vacation breakfast stop. It's a treat for the kiddos.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Perfect.
Fun. Yeah.
Great.
That's good.
And I also think it doubles as teaching your kids about being frugal, right? Because it's not super expensive.
Well, every single time you go, it's going to be a different price if you get the same thing, though, right?
True. They just make that shit up.
They're like, you get that. I don't know what it looks like now, but it used to be that yellow piece of paper. It'd just be like 20 cents, 85 cents, 79 cents. And you're just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Here's my card. Like, I don't know.
Cuz says Chip would go to scattered, smothered, covered, and camel humped.
Yes, that would be a delicacy. It would be a delicacy for sure.
It'd be expensive, but they got a surcharge for a camel.
That's right.
Ravin says yours probably comes out better. They don't really cook with love at Waffle House, and it shows.
And now it depends if it's pre-workday fight or post-workday fight. Like, are they in a fight behind the counter or not?
seen some fights.
Yes. And then you have some of those cooks that are really freaking good and actually give a shit. Like, and that's fun to watch. Jay and I like to sit at the bar, countertop.
Yeah, we definitely sit at the counter.
So we can see the action. We like that.
I like watching action from the sidelines, Courtney.
Yeah.
Especially in Vegas. Ravin says, ours is a bunch of disgruntled divorced women.
Ouch.
You can fuck out with that. Let's see. Mike says, y'all are getting kind of weird.
We're always weird. So
wait, Courtney's very weird. Chip says he can do it. Anything with food, Chip can do it. He can at least try, and it's probably going to be better than what anything anybody else can do. Can you get the Waffle House batter mix? You know, like Jim and Nick sells their little biscuit mix.
I will say the biscuit mix, that really pissed me off when I got it because like I had to go get like 12 other ingredients to go in it.
That's bullshit.
So I was a little disgruntled about that. Like I felt like I should only have to add water. So I was a little disgruntled about that when I bought that. But those little biscuits are so freaking good, man.
I wish that all I had to do with you is add water.
Remember, I just got those the other day for something. I bought them for something.
You didn't make them though, did you?
Oh, no, it was our Cajun night. That's what it was.
Ravin, not a fan of how Waffle House recently streamlined their menu. We haven't been.
We haven't been. I'm going to be devastated when I see this.
And Mike says chili on top of hash browns is gross.
Oh, man.
Hey, man, if you don't like it, then don't get it. Maddie says, yeah, I'm just kidding with you, bro. Maddie says, yes, it's still like that. Yellow paper with whatever they want to charge. It's just like random. Yeah,
one time it's $12.35. The next time you go back, it's $15. And you're like, I got the exact same thing. And it's, a couple days later. It could be, I'm sure, but they are charging more for eggs now.
Do we know that?
Yes. They have signs all everywhere, apparently.
Oh,
about
yeah,
it being more money.
That's definitely true.
That's fair, though, because you can't even go to freaking Walmart and get egg. Anyway, we're not going to get on the egg tangent.
Maddie, can you send me the ham picture again, yo? Let me see.
Wait, there's the crazy ass ostrich.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Courtney wanted to show this picture. Oh, Maddie actually sent this picture. Send me the ham.
Yes.
Maddie.
But look at this, man. This is the ostrich at the zoo. It kind of looks like it's roadkill right here, but it's because we're looking down at it. But it's so damn big, man. So he would he's looking down right now, but when he looks his head up, he just stares into your soul, man. It's scary. He is so big. He's edge. Absolutely. We're probably, what, 10 feet up?
Yeah.
No, 8 feet up.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And that's how big he was.
Let's see. Matt says copious notes about Waffle House only on the blend.
Waffle House is it is an American institution. It is. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Absolutely.
not that again.
Eric G. First of all, copious notes is something that Bill Blakeman used to talk to me about at the Winchester Sun. He said, I can't go to the water board meeting tonight. This is before Guantanamo, the actual water board. I need you to go and take copious notes. And I was like, it's a fucking water board meeting. What are you talking about? He goes, I'm going to need 20 in the morning. 20 inches?
20 inches on.
20 inches on the water board meeting? Like, are you serious?
This is small town Kentucky right here.
And anytime I hear copious notes, it's like a little bit of PTSD for me. Eric G says, I get mine with a side of Hamacy.
That is the comment of the evening. Very nice.
I see the bottle of Hamacy you got on your shelf. So let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty.
Oh, there it is.
Hamacy and cheese, guys. That looks good, man. Where would you take your first bite?
My question is what's the expiration date? Because it looks like it's been in that fridge for a while.
Do you eat it like a traditional sandwich, like long ways? Or you just bite into that little
What
bell?
happened on the taint on the side? It's got extra cheese in the taint.
Eric, man, such a good Waffle House.
That was a great one
right there, bro.
Thank you, Eric. That was good.
You get them scattered, smothered, covered in Hamacy.
Oh, Lord.
Matt says, eggs more expensive. Thanks, Obama. Womp womp. It's a little more complicated than that, I have to be fair. Cuz says Troy basketball uses Waffle House to recruit. That's absolutely true.
Well, and, there was an amazing Auburn coach who used to always go after his Auburn wins, which wasn't that often.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to go too often, but pretty good. Otag says he would like a little extra mayo on the Hamacy, Courtney.
I can't. Oh, I like it says keep refrigerated. You definitely don't want that warming up on you.
Oh my God. That's my asshole. The Hamacy and cheese is the gift that keeps on giving for streamers. I'm telling you that. By the way, Troy really does have a thing about, as Cuz was mentioning, they have a Waffle House in Troy, obviously. And it just turned out that, like, the recruits that liked Waffle House turned out better for Troy than the ones that didn't. And so they kind of made a joke that he's going to take people to Waffle House to make sure that they like it.
I like it.
Mike says, not signing with Troy was the worst mistake of my life other than marrying my ex.
Oops. Minor.
And Matt makes a joke about Waffle House with Gus. He's pretty good. Me and Christian like it there. I like to get the cheese pups. Well, we asked him one time what his favorite order was at Crystal. He said cheese pups. I'm like, bro, what? It's supposed to be cheeseburgers without mustard. That's what everybody does. What do you mean? Cuz says the bourbon blend has lost control.
As
That's
always.
Assuming that we had it to start with.
It's after 9 o'clock, so it's always going to lose control.
Chipster says I'd have to pound most of that unsavory bottle from earlier to brave that Hamacy. Hey, what if I told you that life is the Hamacy we've had along the way, Chip?
Here's my concern. Is that
concern, yes.
Is that it looks like it's been there for a while. Like that hasn't been a used Hamacy.
What makes it? Is it because
it's all spotted? It's got residue.
Residue? Is there?
Oh, Lordy B.
I was hoping to see that picture of Britney Spears' ham sandwich.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
That's not going to show it. You're gross.
Wait, what?
Oh, anyway. Well, so I know everybody wants some hash browns now. They're going to go out and find themselves some hash browns.
Wait, are you?
What? Are you looking for roast beef?
Yeah, I was looking for that picture of Britney Spears' roast beef, but
Jesus,
I haven't found it. Let's see. Chip says there are many concerns surrounding that photo. And
I need to, like, the person that took the picture of this is freaking amazing. Like, that's awesome.
The meat is starting to slime. Question mark. That's the flavor, he says.
Little man in the boat.
Thank you for that, Maddie. That was quite a gift.
Amazing. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, it really is. The whole
year. Just like the Jelly of the Month Club.
I thought that you had. I thought the Waffle House hash browns was not your best Courtney's Corner. I know it's turned out great, but
everybody loves anybody that goes to Waffle House. You don't go there and not get hash browns.
I think we were gonna do best hot sauces.
We have that too. Yeah, that's one of them. But we can do that next time.
Mike says, "Listen to this, man." He says, "Brittany's sandwich is disgusting." Speak for yourself, Mike.
That's no doubt. No doubt. Talk about a used sandwich. Good God.
Let's see. Maddie says she met a female biker gang while drunk Maddie was drunk in a Waffle House. 10 out of 10 experience. Told me to call them aunties. Hey, auntie.
Sweet. Was this recently, Mads?
I hope so. Let's see. Chip says, "What's the manufacture date on that Hamacy?" It's the last line of print. I think it was like 2 years ago. Does that mean it's bad? Does that mean you can't eat it?
I don't see
Best by 1/03/23. Yeah.
Oh. I hope this isn't a recent photograph.
Wow. How about that? Let's see. Eric G. Sounds like he's experienced. Says the slime makes it go down easier, Courtney.
Oh.
Chip says Huddle House can go fuck itself.
That just reminds me of like a hepatitis outbreak.
We used to go over the bridge because I hate bridges. We used to go over the bridge to New Albany just to fuck with me, and there was a Huddle House on the other side of New Albany. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" You go, it's like ghetto ass.
Yes.
Waffle House, like.
Yeah. So there used to also be one between here and. We drove
Ozark?
to when we would go up to Mississippi.
Mississippi.
We'd go up to Oxford. There was one in one of those little towns before we had the big highway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's a Huddle House there.
Like Gwen or Gwen.
Yeah.
Revenge says a used sandwich. Courtney, thoughts on a used sandwich? Would you consider eating it?
No.
Mike says the ham and cheese from last week is superior. Maddie says that her aunties on the biker gang were within the past year or two. Maddie, were you old enough to be drinking? How old is Maddie?
She'll be 23 next month.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then. 23.
I know, old as hell.
Isn't it amazing? She's going to be out and living her own life. That's just exactly what.
Out of college and not pregnant.
Oh, I was going to say.
She has a lot of roommates that got pregnant along the way. It's like, please don't drink the water. Please don't.
I was going to say out of college, off the payroll.
That's right.
We need to have that conversation like on the Cosby Show when he was talking to Theo about how much shit's going to cost. Remember that?
Oh. Uh-huh.
He's like, let me take that rent. Let me take that insurance. Let me take your whore. Take your side chick. Let me take your second side chick.
There's a lot of... Yeah, unfortunately, that was good stuff back in the day, but kind of tainted now.
Wait, you said taint? Mike says, Maddie, we need more info about your experience with the bikers. Maddie is probably not a threat to turn into a biker.
No, but I could see her chatting him up. She's got her daddy.
I'm going to say, where does she get that from?
Actually,
daddy both of us are chatting.
And her mommy. And yeah, we
and her
like
auntie,
to chat up.
her auntie Bridget would be a chatter.
Like to chat a lot with strangers. That doesn't sound right. We don't meet a stranger.
I'll tell you a story.
Isn't that the phrase? We don't meet a...
We never met a stranger.
We never met a stranger.
Nobody said that about Sonia's dad, and I respected that.
Yep.
Me and JB infiltrating that. Remember when we went to Chattanooga and there was a shooting in the penthouse, and we were like talking to the cleaning staff about, hey, what's going on up on the top? You know something?
You know something.
What can you tell me about that?
Heard you know something.
It's how you got to learn how to talk to people, man. Let's see. Chip says, my oldest was looking at moving to Australia for her microbiology master's program. Disaster averted. She got a good project in Auburn.
Oh, well, that's good.
I have some great news, though, which is that my man Neil Jay, who jumps on the brain drain fairly often, he's got a son in Australia who's a firefighter. And and he's having a great time down there. Like he is loving Australia. And then like they just fly down there to see him like twice a year. I don't know.
That is a significant flight.
Well, he lives in Scotland, so
it
it's
doesn't
nice.
matter. It's still far. Can I put this down? Say man
Man
down.
down.
Man down.
But Australia is a long damn way away, Chipper. Matt says Andalusia, Alabama used to have a spectacular Huddle House back around 2000. I thought it was a fancy Waffle House, like an upgraded Waffle House.
There you go.
Andalusia, Alabama.
I wonder if Huddle House still exists.
I'm sure
Anything
it
I
does.
still have it?
I think there's one like literally in Ozark right now, like as we speak.
Isn't there one? No, there's not one near Crestview because Raven would know that. But
Raven says I've been to a good Huddle House. It was a lot like Waffle House, but with elbow room.
elbow room.
Elbow room. Got to get you some elbow room. Gonna fucking room.
That's not the lyrics from Schoolhouse Rock.
I was singing a Schoolhouse Rock song the other day.
Which one?
Hey, do you know about the USA? Do you know about the government? Can you tell me about the Constitution? Hey, learn about the USA. Nice job.
Yep. That's a
That's
good
a good
one.
Rocking and a rolling, splishing and a splashing over the horizon. What can it be? Looks like it's going to be a free country.
That's some good stuff back in the day. It's probably my only history lesson I ever paid any attention to. It did help me with prepositions.
What's that one?
In and on and shit, I can't remember now.
It'd help you with conjunctions, right?
No, well, conjunction, what's your function? Yeah.
Raven says copyright strike from Schoolhouse Rock. Meh. Yep. Busted.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, copyright strike, for those of you who just follow the Bourbon Blend, I got copyright struck. I got absolutely taken off the air for showing, I think it was Auburn's first round.
Yeah, first round.
No, it was the is the playing game. It wasn't even Auburn. It was ASU and
well, they don't know who you cover.
St.
They
Francis
just know that your stream was picking
they
it
shut
up.
my ass down. They said black screen, like you're done, bro. But I got an email. It was a very nice email. It said, "Hey, we shut your stream down, but if you just started back up without any copyrighted information, you'd be all right." So that's what we did.
Oh, that was nice.
Cuz says, "I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, I got my ball bag licked by a dirty whore in the alley."
That's not the lyric.
No, okay.
It's not the lyric.
There was one I was missing earlier that I'd sing all the time. Interplanet Janet. She's a galaxy girl. That's a good one. 3, oh, it's a magic number. I like that one. My Hero Zero.
Zero.
Such a funny little hero. Chip says YouTube didn't know that JDT is swag. Who is swag? Baby, who is? Ooh, JG, preach. There we go. Eric G says nice harmonizing. Possible band name, Hamacy and Cheese. It sounds like Simon and Garfunkel, but it's actually Hamacy and Cheese.
Or Grub and Go. Grub and Go.
What's your favorite Simon and Garfunkel song?
You are such a douche. Jay loves this more.
Homeward bound. I wish I was. All right, Maddie jumping in. Cordy Jr. Says, I still have the multiplication table of 8s from Schoolhouse Rock stuck in my head.
Hey, Maddie, do you remember doing the multiplication, the timed multiplication on the kitchen counter at Winfrey House? You don't. You were at Auburn. But, that was a very stressful time for us. We'd set the microwave timer, and it was... Yeah, you had to do, I think it was 100 problems, and I can't remember what time frame it was, but yeah.
Mike says Andalusia is the home of Harris Rabrin and Lucky Cope, 2 of my bros from back in the day at Auburn. Joe Cope is Lucky's son. Joe Cope, one of my favorite centers at Auburn. You know, here's the thing, man. A really good center in football, he ain't got to be big, and he ain't got to be like a technically gifted player, but if he's mean as fuck, you can work with that.
There you go.
You want somebody who'll bite you.
Mm-hmm.
And call you a biatch.
Set some stuff up.
Let's see. Maddie T says you would set the microwave timer and tell me to do a whole page. Oh my God, that was very anxious moments. Chip says, hey Siri, who wrote this song? Siri. Hennessy and Cheese. They played Central Park in 1980. Hennessy and Cheese. Maddie says, Forest Avenue stood on business.
That's right. It did. Yes.
I'm standing on business.
Yes. Oh, Maddie, I remember all the tears from that time too. I have a question. I wonder, Mads, do you actually remember your do you actually remember those times tables, or is it like one of those things you struck from your memory because it was too emotional?
Yeah, here's one you're going to strike from your memory. Ruben asks, so did you did math while you preheated the microwave? Just a joke, Courtney. Hey, Ruben, I expect you to spell it correctly, bro. It's C-O-R-T-N-I. Courtney.
Oh, Ruben wants
Eric
to get in a
says
fight.
Ruben took my comment.
Oh, y'all so damn rude.
Eric deserves credit for this.
Maybe he was too late.
He must have been thinking in his head. Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. Norman said something here earlier. I want to make sure I get it. That ham sandwich is the only food you can get at the Ross Dress for Less. That's what it says on the building, man.
Jay, that's like saying who's the king of beers?
Coors?
Yeah. You'd be like,
Coors.
I'm going to get a Coors, the king of beer.
If somebody said that, I'd be like, word, I know what you're talking about.
No, you'd be like, I'm going to get a Coors. I'm going to Ross. Nobody goes, I'm going to Ross Dress for Less.
I would.
Because it just sounds really wrong.
You sound wrong. Maddie says, haha, I remember the times tables for sure. That made me amazing at mental math.
See, I don't even know what mental math is, but yeah.
Cuz is laughing his ass off over here about something. I'm not exactly sure
About
what it
the
is.
microwave, I'm sure, Ravin.
Preheating the microwave? Ravin says, I'll have to retrain my phone to not change it. What is he talking about?
Oh, Courtney.
Oh, yes. When I type in Maddie's name on my phone, I just type MCT and it says Madison or something like that. Chips says, Joe Cope, you never noticed him, just like a good center should be. No penalties, no missed blocks. He was a good one, man. He was undersized, but he would bite you, man. He was a fighter. He was strong. Strong like bull. No Malakia. Chip says, Bud is the king of beers, correct.
I don't know. I can't answer
I
that
personally
for you.
think Coors is. But
Coors is the banquet beer. I know that.
I think you're right, Chip. I think you're right. I drink bourbon. I don't drink a lot of beer. I don't drink any beer. Well, I had a beer the other day, remember? We were at Kuko's and I had a...
Yes, because it was half off draft beers.
Half beers.
Yes, it was... Wait, it was $2 tacos and half off draft beers. We got out of there, including tip, for like $16. Yeah, it was amazing.
We gave her like a $10 tip.
I was like, this is awesome.
And Chip Chair reminds us that Miller High Life is the champagne of beers.
That is correct.
Ravin says, if you weren't supposed to say dress for less, then why do they put it on the sign? Thank you, Ravin.
Ravin.
Ross Dress for Less.
Some things that are posted are not meant to be said out loud. They're just not. No.
Look, man, I got me a Kraken with the fucking Rumble Bell.
Okay, here's another thing. Like, are you going to say I'm going to McDonald's who serves 6 billion hamburgers? Like, they used to have that. I don't think they have that on their sign anymore. Remember, it used to be like 1 million served. Remember that?
You're showing your age here.
Do you remember this?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't say it now, but you wouldn't be going, I'm going to McDonald's who's had 1 million hamburgers served. No. I'm going to McDonald's.
Mike says, I've never been so proud as when Joe Cope was leading our offensive line. I know what his dad went through back in the day. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Reese is really good, but Auburn hasn't had great centers. Well, they have one now, actually, so I shouldn't talk shit. Connor Lou's really good. I know you like Connor Lou a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because he loves he ended up coming to Auburn because of the flight program. He's gonna be a great pilot someday when his football career is over. Connor Lou. Is he your favorite of the Connors or the favorite of the Lou's?
No, I know Coors is the Banquest beer.
Maybe he meant banquetist, the most banquety.
The most banquety.
Maddie calls me dad. This creeps me out. Can you just say Jay next time? Remember your beer phase? The fridge had many Rolling Rocks. That is true, Rolling Rock. And also Yingling Black and Tan, as I recall. I also weighed for 315 pounds.
I need to find that picture of when Maddie was an
It's
infant and was going to, and she got the beer out for you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find that. That would be a good bourbon blend pick. It was
bet we
so
can find
cute.
that.
I don't know, Maddie, if you remember that picture. It's really cute. She's wearing a pink
Chipper
oil dress.
says she was wearing. I think it was like her
Pink and yellow
sleep-
dress.
Unless
No,
she's
it was
like-
a dress.
It says dress for less is a major part of the only reason you should go.
Well,
so,
they can state the fact, but you don't say I'm going to Ross Dress for Less.
I will.
Nobody says that except this guy.
So I want to say this. I don't mind shopping for less expensive clothes. Doesn't
Correct.
bother me at all. So in our city, the Dirty Dillard's is the go-to place. But I
Right.
can only go so often because they don't change their shit that
Right.
much. TJ Maxx is good.
Well, TJ Maxx and Ross are the same company.
They may be the same company, but that's like saying you and your sister are the same person. No, you're like the better version of Jennifer, my opinion. So TJ Maxx is good. Ross Dress for Less is a step down, maybe 2 steps down. I didn't like it in there, but I was able to get this Kraken jersey for $25, and I feel pretty fucking good about it. Look who's here, Courtney. Canoeman,
Hey!
scattered, covered, and chunked.
That's Jay.
I'm on board with that, Canoeman,
Mhm.
and so glad to have you here, bro. Canoeman has been such a spiritual animal for me, like spirit animal. He's had my back.
Yes,
This guy
definitely.
throws
Stud.
around his weight in such positive ways to help people, to empower
Yes.
people. And I find him inspiring,
Mhm.
honestly. I'm glad to be surrounded by people like Canoeman. Well, surrounded by is kind of a euphemism because I don't hang out with him as much as I'd like, but that guy's a fucking badass right there.
Hmm. I agree.
Mike says, I gave up beer for Lent, and to be honest, I feel a lot better since then. But Mike was 2 fingers deep in some Heaven Hill earlier.
But I like beer at certain times, but not very often. But I will say,
Do you
if
like
you
it?
drink beer a lot, I get that whole bloated feeling. The whole, bloating.
We got a friend of ours named Johnny, and he can literally drink a 12-pack in about
He used to. He can't do it as
90
much as
minutes?
he used to. But hey, Maddie has a question for you here,
I
Jay.
don't know how in the hell he can do that, bro. Maddie says, at KinderCare, they didn't ask me to name a B word, and I said beer. Or am I
No, that is
making that up?
100%
Oh,
true.
they asked me. Didn't they ask me?
That
to
was
name a
in
B
pre-K classroom, and they're writing, tell us something that starts with B. And the center director's child says, beer! Proud as can be. I mean, I'm like, let's not write that one on the board, okay? Let's not say Maddie T says beer. Let's pick another one. How about bear?
word? This could be a great thing for Courtney's Corner. We just do letters, and what's the first word that comes out of your mouth? Like, so for me, it would be beaver. Or butthole.
B would be bitch.
Okay, great. Bitch or beaver.
Mm-hmm.
A,
Asshole.
anus. Yeah, for sure. T,
Tate.
twat.
Same.
C,
Cunt.
clit.
I shouldn't say that word.
Kaduma says, love the Commodore. Yo.
How about R?
I feel like you're family, bro. And Kaduma says, even AA. AA, even more, of course.
Thank you, sir.
It's that kind of legend.
Yes.
Matt says, just saying, I almost always want Chick-fil-A on Sunday.
That's
which,
like a day everybody wants Chick-fil-A, right?
that'd be such a great like social media post, Matt, for you like waiting in line on a Sunday at Chick-fil-A and go, why can't these fuckers
Why
get
can't
on the
these
job?
answer? Why can't they- I'm sitting here waiting for my order.
Chip going with the high percentage shot here. Kanuman, are you going to be courtside tomorrow night? Chances are he probably will be. Maddie says TJ Maxx and Ross are not the same company. That would
I
be
thought they were the
blasphemous.
same company. They're not?
I
I
can't
thought
say
they were
that
the
for
same
sure.
parent company.
I
thought they
can't
were.
speak to that. Jim Cramer talks about these companies from
I
time
thought
to
they
time.
were.
I just can't speak to that.
I thought they were the same company. Maybe I'm thinking about, okay, so Home Goods and TJ Maxx. That's what it is. I'm sorry. It's Home Goods and TJ Maxx. Home Goods and TJ Maxx are the same company.
Yeah, well, fuck Home Goods. I'm not going in there.
Oh, Maddie loves her some Home Goods.
Well, she's a girl.
I like Home Goods too.
Matt says at least the kid didn't say
True, or bitch. I mean, she didn't say bitch either, because that was a word she would have heard in our house.
Maddie says you better watch them B words. Yeah, I know that. I get that, man. I ever what. Mike, who gave up beer for Lent, says there's a substitute. I'm sipping more brown.
There you go. All right.
And Ravin says
Okay.
TJ Maxx and Home Goods are the same.
Yeah, so that was it. I'm sorry I mixed up my companies.
And
But
Maddie
yes.
says Marshalls is involved there too.
Yes. Marshalls and Home Goods are always like, I'm very confused by it because they're always together. And I guess Marshalls has more clothing.
Is there
I
a
don't
Marshalls in
know.
our town?
It's with Home Goods. It's the exact same store. Like you go in Home Goods, and if you keep walking, it becomes Marshalls. It's between. There's
Is it by Kobe?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Home
word,
Goods, it's
word.
Marshalls, and then it's the Five Below.
Oh, word. I don't.
But like when you go in, it's the same store. Like if you just keep walking, there's no walls. Like you just keep walking, it's the same thing.
It just reminded me of a song. Too many walls have been built in between us. I put my penis in
Stop
your
with these
ball bag.
lyrics.
Okay, my bad.
All right, Jay, it's probably about that time.
Wait, is it really? Oh, it don't have to really be that time. I'm gonna go to my PC.
Oh, primary care next week, and all I know
I'll
is
let you
okay.
know
Gotcha.
what my numbers
I
are
got
next
you.
week.
I got you.
Oh, so
we're on the elderly track. We get you. And every 3 to 6 month check now that we're elderly.
Yeah, I got mine
It's
coming
not
up.
any fun.
I got mine coming up in April. I think he's gonna be happy with mine though.
Yeah.
'Cause I told him I'd drink less.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. If he watches the show, Doc Hendon, I'm sorry, bro. I might have lied to you about that drinking thing. Well, at least I didn't lie to Dr. Arellano though, when she was like, "You're gonna have to drink less to avoid an AFib." I go, "Well, that ain't happening. So what's the next choice?"
What's the next option?
She's like, "You pretty much have one at this point." I said, "Am I gonna die from AFib?" And she said, reluctantly, she goes, "No, you're not gonna die from AFib." I was like,
Well, as you get older, there can be issues, but right now you're good.
"Wait, why? We can't just drink like this forever?"
No, I'm saying as you get older, you have to worry about your, like stroking out and shit. But we're not going to worry about that now.
Wow, thanks, Courtney. You know what? My sister's dead.
I'm aware of that.
Is your sister dead?
Yep.
Chip. By the way, for those of you who are auburnsports.com, I got to pull my first My Sister's Dead on Daniel, the intern, the other day. He was talking about his sister, blah, blah, blah. And I go, "Yeah, that didn't happen to my sister." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "She's dead." And he goes, "Oh." And then
It's
Caleb
not fair
looked at me and he goes, "Got him." I'm like, Caleb knows my gig on that.
Jay, it's not nice. Like,
I know, man. It's
kids
just
these
fun.
days don't know how to take that stuff. It's not.
Chip says, "I don't want to enter one store and end up in another store unless they have complimentary mushrooms."
Remember when stores like used to
that's
give
actually
shit
true.
away? They're like not necessarily mushrooms, but like you used to go in a store and there'd be somebody that would give some stuff away, like some kind of like if you were a lady, you get like a little perfume sample, or you would get like if they had
Costco?
food. Well,
Costco
yeah, I
does
mean
that.
Costco does that. They're trying to sell our shit, and that's what these other places were doing, but they don't do that much anymore.
Kadima says Marshalls is also part of TJX, which is that's the stock symbol, along with TJ Maxx and Home Goods. I thought about investing in TJX, and I know that Kramer's a big fan of TJX in a general sense, particularly when the market's sliding a little bit and the economy maybe isn't booming as well as it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. We may end up getting invested in that at some point, Courtney. I don't know.
Well, it's because you can go get your shopping fix there and not spend as much money. And so even if you typically have a lot of money, you can go there and pretend you.
Ravin says there's a lady in her 90s that drinks 3 Dur peppers a day. Let's see. Hold on. Maddie's got some, but I don't want to skip over this stuff. First of all, Commitment says release the Kraken. $25 is all I had to pay to release this bitch.
If he's talking, okay. Does anybody on here watch The Pit? Because one of their patients on there was called the Kraken. Yes. So that's another reference.
Kanuman says no. Chip says the show can't end without Mav rubbing a cock on some. I'm pissed off at him.
He's mad at him, so
he ate
Maverick's not up here.
my
notepad
earlier. And
yeah.
I got down on my knees and I was like, "Does this look like something that you can use? Because you don't have opposable thumbs and you can't write. So why would you even be eating this?" And he was like,
The funniest part about it is that he always looks like he's so upset that he did it. It's like, why'd you do it?
"Why did you do it if you're so upset about it?"
Like, he actually drops his head and like, "I'm sorry."
Let's see. Matt says if you smell burnt hair, you might be having a stroke, or you might be at a hair salon. And since I may go to a hair salon periodically, I don't want to name the names. Yes, be careful. Maddie, I'm going to like this comment. I don't even know what it says. I love pulling the dead card. My friends will say they're going to see their aunt, and I'll say, well, all of mine are dead. That's a good one, Mads.
Yeah.
I'd love to go see my aunts, but they're all fucking dead. Have a good time. I hope you enjoy them.
I'm going to go see mine, too, at the cemetery.
That's an awesome one right there.
Can y'all drop me off at the cemetery on your way so I can see mine?
20 to 25 satin room.
Stop. Stop, Jay.
I'm crying, man. I'm so glad my daughter is using that same vertical, man.
I mean,
that's amazing.
You know, it's fun. It's fun to be able to laugh through trauma.
Chips, it says Canoom and JGT pronounces it Kraken. The
Kraken.
Is it Kraken?
It's Kraken.
Kraken? Okay, yeah. Kraken.
Like crack addict.
Let's see. Canoom got a kick out of that one. Maddie says it's pit night. I almost forgot.
I know. It's so good.
That is a whole genre that Maddie and her mom enjoy. Love watching these, like ER.
Noah Wiley on
Grey's Anatomy.
HBO. No, I don't like Grey's Anatomy.
He was on ER.
Yes.
These like real, they're trying to be real medical shows. I have no interest. I don't want to watch the first episode. If you guys want to like go to a hospital and watch people get sick and shit, God bless you. I don't want to be there for that. I'd rather watch my dog eat my fucking paper and me like browbeat him metaphorically.
That's an interesting thing there, Mike.
I think that I want to drink more the closer I get to death. This is an interesting discussion. Do I want to be sober when I die?
That's funny because so
these are the great questions.
My dad, who really enjoyed his bourbon, as he got older and sicker, he just did not have a taste for it. And I could not get him to have a drink. I'm like, Dad, I want to have a drink with you. And he was like, I just don't have any interest in it. It just doesn't taste good to me. And it was very disappointing to me because like I really wanted to have some more bourbon with my dad because I was liking it as he was weaning off of it. So
look at this. Maddie says, I've witnessed an order to be put in by a doctor for 1 shot of vodka as needed for a patient in hospice. Interesting stuff.
There you go.
If a patient is in hospice, right? At that point,
you
it's
let
like,
them do what they need to do.
Yeah, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And then Maddie says that's interesting.
I like that because that's a good doctor. That's a good doctor.
Chip says he ate it because he's a pug. If you want to see an animal do the dumbest, unnecessary stuff, get a pug. I love that.
I mean, it's true. He
just doesn't. They don't have big brains.
He doesn't have big brains, but he has a very big heart.
He's very sweet.
He's very sweet. And he is very, when he fucks up, he's very disappointed in himself.
I know. He's like, why did I do that?
He like just drops his head. He'll go under the dining room table and just like look like this.
Maverick, why did you do this? He's just like, sorry. Like,
yes.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Noah Wiley will always be known as on the doctor on ER. Like that's where he came from.
Like the basically the.
He was the baby, and now he's the head honcho on this series. And Raven, if you like medical dramas, this is amazing. You have to watch it on HBO.
He says Noah Wiley, the librarian.
I know.
Raven says Noah Wiley, the librarian. That's pretty funny.
Yes.
Chip says, Maddie, my grandfather-in-law's doctor told him not to stop drinking or he would die. I'm not laughing about that situation. That's just, I'm not used to hearing that. Raven says, I see orders for alcoholic drinks and KY jelly.
I didn't need the last part of that. You could have put the period after drinks.
KY, wait. How, can those go hand in hand? Kentucky
It can literally go hand in hand.
Is this Kentucky jelly? Is it? Can I tell the ID story?
No.
So me and Courtney in 1999. Never mind. If you no.
No.
Are you sure? It's a good story.
I'm gonna punch you if you do it.
I just won't do it. Ravin says, my line of work can get wild. Maddie says, LOL, Chip, it do be like that. I had alcohol withdrawal patient last week in his 30s, and God bless that man. He thought there was an orca in his room and was screaming at a non-existent man.
That sounds like fun.
Me and Maddie watched a guy on my fraternity chasing...
Courtney. You said me and Maddie.
Courtney's Corner. Me and Courtney watched a fraternity brother of mine chasing with a 2x4, attacking a moth that didn't exist.
True.
I think he was high. Kanuman says, my line of work is cray-cray. Kanuman, I thought you were retired, G. Maybe that's the joke. I don't know. I'd like to know a little bit more about that. Chip says he died a few years later, but not because he stopped drinking. Ravin, Texas Ravin, I thought you were Kissimmee, not the Villages. The Villages. He's talking about KY. Courtney, seriously, we were talking about maybe going to live in the Villages when you retire.
I will not be living there.
Can you tell me about why?
For several reasons.
Shit, okay.
But let's say political and STDs are at the top of the list.
Kuderman says, can you imagine the terror of an orca being in your room?
That is true.
It would be like
very
most of the
scary.
size of this room.
It would be the size. It would be larger than this room.
But if you cut him up and let Chip fry him up, he'd taste really good, probably.
Yeah.
Chip, what would you do with an orca, like from an eating perspective? Could you kind of fry him up or whatever?
I guarantee that there is a YouTube channel about this.
Joke. Kanuman, I was on, bro. I just didn't quite. I've been drinking this 120 proof stuff all night, so maybe I'm just not quite where I need to be. Ravin says, Maddie, are you sure that wasn't the crazy lady that they kicked off the plane? Maddie just says, ha, Ravin.
Oh, Jay, it's getting to be about that time.
No, is it really, Courtney?
Some of us have to go to work in the morning.
Oh, no. I thought Courtney's Corner was such a hit tonight, Courtney. Talking about best.
I want to go get some damn Waffle House hash browns now.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I know. But
have I stayed hydrated enough?
Yeah. All right. Well.
Kanuman says, what is the channel? Looking for Chip.
We did not get up to our dozens tonight, Jay.
We didn't?
No, we did not.
Was it because we didn't do, because we weren't on last week? We didn't keep the inertia rolling?
No, I think that there's a lot of people, they were watching basketball instead.
Oh, okay. Well, I got good news. Did you have good news? Mm-hmm. Wait, Maddie, hold on. There's something Maddie sent me. I'm trying to figure out what the orca is. Oh, shit, my bad. Was it the wrong one?
Oh, because they put those on him to make sure that he wasn't hurting himself.
He put those. Okay, he thought that was an orca. That's a little smaller than an orca. Right?
Damn.
It's weird that Maddie's seen those. I've never seen those in my life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have.
Oh, wait, they put them on my mom or something?
Anyway, so it's about that time.
They put them on my sister?
It's about that time.
They put them on me?
Not put it on you.
I feel like I would know. Let's see. Kanuman says, up against the NCAA tournament is a tough
That
draw.
is true. I mean.
We are a 16 seed. We're a play-in team. But we made it. We made it. And another
we made it.
one.
We made it to the big leagues.
Let's see. Mike says, whale meat is not appetizing to me.
No.
And also, Mike says, too many closet Bammers. Hey, the Bammers already finished off BYU like hours ago. So
yeah, that was a crazy score.
100 and...
You don't see that shit in the NCAA, especially in Sweet 16. Like, no. So, I mean, I have to give them the props.
All right, so here's what we're going to do.
We're going to wrap this bitch up.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to tell you guys we love you. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, thank y'all for joining us.
We are going to endeavor to do a show next week, right? And if Auburn's in San Antonio...
They won't play on Thursday, though.
No, but...
So that would be that's a...
Saturday, Monday. Right?
That's if. There's a lot of road before there.
Why you gotta be such a hater?
I'm not.
Louisville's knocked out and you're in a bad mood.
I'm being a realist.
It's because Louisville got knocked out and they're bad.
I'm being a realist. It depends which team shows up. So.
Kanuman says thanks. A great show as always. Thanks, Kanuman. Appreciate you being here.
Thank y'all for being here.
And
It's a wonderful
and
evening.
OTAG gives it a good night, y'all.
Jay will be on here tomorrow night. Not on the
that's
Bourbon
right.
Blend,
Not on the Bourbon Blend, but on the Brain Train.
Brain
And
Drain.
we're going to be doing the game against Michigan, tipping off in the 8 o'clock hour. It's going to be a good time. Let's see. Eric G says, this is a fun show. Finishing this barrel bourbon Tale of Two Islands pour and heading
Nice.
out. We saw that in Columbus, GA.
We did see that.
And we didn't get it just because we had so many bottles we wanted to grab. Including that one probably. But
Yep.
that store pick.
That wasn't the best pick,
No, it
but
wasn't great.
you know, it's okay. At least we're honest about it.
All right, so I will see you guys on the Brain Drain tomorrow night. We will see you guys here a week from tonight, right?
Yes. Matt is no longer my friend.
Wow, let's see. Just kidding. Enjoyed it. Let's go Duke.
No. Them's fighting words right there.
Hold on, man. Like, Duke's bad.
Duke sucks ass 24/7. Okay? You will hear that all the time from us. So,
Mike says, great show. Love you all.
all right. We appreciate it.
Wait.
Don't bring up Duke
JM.
again.
Hold on, JM. We need to do something for JM.
Wait.
Show me
Wait.
where's that empty bottle?
Wait. Here it is. It's been poured out.
JM,
Look.
this is for you.
That's right.
Man
Look at
down.
that. Man down.
Man down.
Man down.
We got a man down, JM. That was for you, Big Daddy. There he is. He's one of our G-Pits friends. And he's also a big fan of the man down thing.
Yes.
So anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. JM, you came at the right time. See you guys next week. Make great decisions. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Peace out.